live again, technically. Hello? Oh, wow, I can't hear any of the Discord. Yeah, no, I pulled it back up.
Audio input capture.
This one? Nope, that's not right.
Oh.
What about this one? Yeah, that's the right one. How about this? Is this gonna work? What if I drag them all into a channel that I know has worked before? I could just drag them all to Broken Bane.
I mean, you could. I don't think that's going to change anything for...
I think it will, because Broken Bane's worked.
Okay.
Let's try that.
What are we trying?
Wait.
We're gonna move. We're migrating.
Yeah, no, still not hearing you. Everybody hold still for 1 second. I'm going to drop you all into the Broken Bane voice channel and see if that works. Okay.
You'll have to reshare your screen.
Cameras.
How about now?
I did it. I managed it.
I think that
hey,
worked.
there's audio.
Did it work?
That's
Yeah.
weird.
Okay.
That makes
Apparently,
zero
I
sense.
can't do anything with
Nope, that's
Discord.
Discord.
Your computer is like, it's still Saturday, it's supposed to be Broken Bane, excuse you.
Fine. Well, here we go then.
Could you do the thing, maybe, please? Yeah, great. That is your computer.
That's right.
Yeah, sorry. So I created a new template for this on Streamlabs so that I could just have like a different space for all of this and not have to deal with permissions, and no one could join the voice channel, and like I had and then this happened. So that's fun. Yep.
Tyler just
Okay.
called out, please still chat though in the one-shot text session chat so that way it keeps it separate from Broken Bane stuff.
Yes, please.
that's
That
a
would be
call.
good.
Oh, yeah.
I would appreciate that. Hey, Wordman, your captions aren't on.
Oh. Yep. I should probably click on the start captioning.
I would appreciate that, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. This appears to be working now, I think, a little bit.
Once more with feeling, you know.
Once more with feeling. Okay, so Brandel, will you go ahead and retell us what your outfit looks like?
Okay.
Because I think that's the only bit that anybody wouldn't have heard. I think you would have heard. Oh no, this is a new stream. Okay, I'm gonna start over. Because I started the stream again and I can't edit video. Okay, so. Hi stream. This is a combination of, this is a crossover between two games. We've got all of Broken Bane and we've got about half of Treasure Tuesday. I'm going to describe how they show up at this new location, and we're going to do a birthday one shot, and it's going to be fun. God damn it. So here we go. Broken Bane, specifically Winnie, the Battle, Yume, and Aaliyah, you are walking down this hallway that is perfectly square, and all of a sudden you realize it's round. And the edges seem like purple and pink, and it appeared, and then you realize that this what you're seeing, this round thing, is coming towards you, and you can't avoid it, and you walk through it. Freya, that's going to happen to you as well. You seem to be hopping through a lot of portals right now, and this is sort of old hat. You probably don't even notice you walk through a portal. Treasure Tuesday. Druge, Quentin, and Brandel, you're approaching a clearing, and you're probably all in 3 different places because some of you are scouting and some of you are rushing after the scouts and whatnot. And right before you see the portal, you realize that you're all together now, and this is different because you specifically were not standing together before. And as you're looking at each other, you're like, that's weird. And then you look forward and you realize you're about to step into this portal, and you do. You step out the other side, and you are now standing in front of a huge and glittering and gorgeous mansion, specifically the front gates. There's a gnome standing guard there, and he appears to be checking a piece of paper when you appear. So I'm going to ask you all to describe the super fancy clothes you're wearing right now. It can either be fancy clothes or like a costume, like you're going to a costume party. So Brandel, we're going to kick it off with you, and Quentin's going to be next. We'll just follow the template. order. Brandel, what is your fancy outfit? You're muted.
Question real quick. Are we also doing the
Yes.
full character descriptions at this point and or pronouns? Or is this just outfits?
I would love pronouns. You've reminded me that for the billionth time that I keep forgetting to put it in the character names. But yes, I would really appreciate it if I can hear the character pronouns, and I would love to know what your general appearance is along with your fancy outfit.
Great.
So, Wordman, if you could just
Yeah,
just do all of that right
Okay,
now.
let's go.
Yeah.
So yeah, Brandel, he, him.
hmm
I'm a Firbolg with, I don't know, I guess like long, messy hair.
There are two. Yes.
Winnie
Uh,
just got real visible.
Yeah, interesting. I'm wearing a hemp shirt with you know, rolled up sleeves, and I have a fancy vest.
Brown. Yeah.
Brown vest on.
Like a
with some
really nice, like
embroidery.
gorgeous brown, right? Like that brown that you
Mhm.
just, the gorgeous brown.
Yeah,
And you said it had embroidery, right?
yeah.
And
With
it was
some, you know,
sort of abstract seashells. And did you want it to be abstract? You want it to be like you can see seashells in the embroidery?
yeah. You can sort of see the seashells.
Okay, I really
little
like
bit,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. And then you've got the nice brown pants on, and the embroidery's
Yeah.
sort of mimicked at the
Also,
hem.
like a little
You-
bit on. So on the
You're
pants, yeah.
probably still wearing like sandals, right?
Yes.
But maybe they're like nice sandals.
But it's the nice cork.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
It's very
And
fancy sandals.
and I believe you said that your hair has been brushed rather.
Washed it all.
Sorry, that's not what I meant. Brushed. Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, but so it kind of looks nice.
I love it. Okay.
Nicer.
And I love it. And we are okay. That sounds good. Anything you wanted to add?
No.
Okay. Classic Brandel. Okay, and we're gonna move to Quentin. What are we looking at there, Quentin? Go ahead and start over with that.
Quentin is an Eldrin, so an elf. He's about 6 foot tall. He's got pale green eyes. Hair is in a couple different sets of braids, kind of like patterned back to keep it, backing out of the way. It's near the roots is actually really like pale green right now, but it fades out Umbra style pretty quickly into like a wintry blue, and his general complexion is fairly pale and blue-ish. If you knew anything about Eldrin, you'd know he's set to winter mode, but peaks of spring coming through. He's got in our world, a more modern, like tight fit cut suit. So the jacket isn't intended to close unless you were to like undo the fold overs and close it, but it's kind of folded open. It's got some it's a medium gray suit with like pale blue embroidery that's really subtle of like wintry type flowers on it, and underneath a double-breasted vest, very short but has some tails on the back, and then just some formal pants.
Got it. And he has a piece of jewelry right on his collarbone, right?
I think as he looks down, his eyes get real big and he starts looking around when he notices that's there.
Right.
Looks pretty comfortable in the suit up until that point. And there's a chain that runs around his neck, and then kind of the width of his neck, there's a piece of silverish jewelry, like pale blue silver with some metallic green leaves coming off of what looks like sculpted branches. And it looks like it's sculpted to fit specifically his collarbone. Like it follows the flow of his collarbone, and then dead center there's a really deep sapphire gem that hangs between the 2 points on his clavicle down towards the sternum. And as soon as he kind of puts his hand, just notice that he starts fidgeting with it and kind of keeping his hand like right over top of it.
Got it.
Immediately.
All right. Next, we're gonna move to Druge. So what do we got there? And Elio, you're on deck. So Druge, what do we got?
Yeah, Druge is a Loxodon, basically an elephant-adjacent humanoid, about 8 foot and change tall. He has a set of very long curved tusks that have a set of spiraling runes going up them, and a recently healed set of tattoos that start at the base of the tusks and go up the side of the face and down behind the ears towards the spine. He is currently wearing a long, very deep purple vest that comes down to about the knees, so about like 7 feet of vest, considering how tall he is. There's a lot of embroidery starting at the shoulders and working its way down, all the way down to the chest and thighs, and starts out at this really deep gold color that slowly transitions to a softer silver. And on each wrist, there is a jeweled bangle, one wrist being more gold, one being more silver. Doesn't bother wearing any shoes because elephant feet are not super shoes comfortable. And as soon as Quentin starts fidgeting, Druge will shift over in that direction, as Druge and Quentin have a long-standing relationship.
True. All right. We've got Aaliyah up, and Yume, you're on deck. Aaliyah, what are we wearing there?
Okay, so Aaliyah, she, her, grew up with elves and but has never worn a dress before. So when this occurs, what happens is she kind of goes back to her roots with her costume, and so she has a and is this a masquerade ball?
Yes and
Okay.
no. It can be.
So
Yeah.
she has a mask.
Perfect.
She's
Yes.
allowed one.
Yeah.
It's like a deep mahogany. It could be leather. It goes completely over her face, all the way back to sort of the midpoint of her skull. And it looks like bark. And then her dress is also the same color, this deep mahogany. She has a corset and slightly ballooned sleeves all the way down to the wrist. Fairly straight high neckline. And then a skirt that stops about, 6 inches above her ankles, has a couple of layers and pocket. And
Yes.
there's embroidery, but it's just it's almost exactly the same shade as the dress. So and you can only see it in certain light on the dress. And then she has mahogany slippers, and there's a tiny bit of a satin sheen to them, and that's about as fancy as she can handle. Her hair's up in a braid, and there are small green flowers through her hair, which again, like she's kind of touching. This is all very strange to her. She hasn't done anything like this before.
Yeah, that's perfect. I love it. That's gonna be really good. Everybody is just, I love the outfits I'm hearing. I don't have any prep on this stream. I asked them all to think about fancy outfits, and this is what I'm getting. I'm super enjoying it. So Yume, you're up next, and Battle, you're on deck. Yume, what are we looking like today?
Okay, so I'm blind, so I don't really know what clothing looks like, but I'm gonna do the best I can with a little bit of help. Yume is a human, short, maybe like 5'1". She, her, with a lot of long, bouncy golden hair, golden yellow. Unsurprisingly, the centerpiece of her outfit is her umbrella that she always has with her, which is a very round, verdant green color. Solid for the most part, except the bottom edges are scalloped with waves of white lace.
Perfect.
This same lace is on her dress, which is made of silk and mostly greens, a couple different shades of green, and has gold highlights and floral designs around it.
I love it.
The dress is kind of like bell-shaped.
Yep. Is it bell-shaped because it has a structure under it, or has it got layers?
I think it has structure. They're petticoats.
Yes. Okay, perfect. Great.
Also, to have a bunch of pockets, because that's important.
I mean, it's a fantasy world where we can have whatever we want. We going to have skirts with pockets, right? Yeah, I get it. Okay, cool.
Yume, does the umbrella look the same, or is it embellished at all?
I think it just has more lace than usual.
So it is more embellished.
I've
Okay.
always imagined your umbrella is fancier than your average umbrella anyway, so I think it
Oh,
would
for
fit in
sure.
really well here. And I
Yeah.
love the idea of a dress sort of like crafted around it. That just sounds so perfect. Like I can just see your golden hair on this like gorgeous green dress. It's perfect.
So her hair's kind of long and bouncy as it is, but she has it like up, I think buns? I don't know, just a way that's kind of like up and back a little bit, taking up more space. It
Yeah.
has little white flowers in it.
Perfect. Okay.
And I figured I'd lean on the rest of you for a little help with Dandy, who is her bee companion. It's a couple inches long and very chunky. Is there any way we can combine him with the outfit?
I super wanted to have a lace collar. Is that like a thing?
That
Could we
works.
do that?
There's
Like I want.
nice white lace everywhere else.
Is there like crystallized morning dew kind of sequiny like on his butt? You know, like a bee
Yep.
if falls asleep in a flower, there's like dew on it.
A little bit extra sparkles on him.
Yeah, little extra sparkles.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
And I love
Shed.
it as dew, yeah. I'm sorry, what was that? I interrupted somebody and I wasn't looking. Who was it?
Oh, I just said shiny. Carry on.
Got it. Yeah, perfect. Okay.
Is Marrow anywhere nearby?
Would you like to bring him? I want this to be as, you know, if you'd like to bring him, you absolutely can. If you'd rather have a session where you don't have him, that's fine too.
I think he's there. Yeah.
Okay. Can he please be wearing like a dog version of the collarbone thing that you have
Tim
on?
and I discussed this on the phone earlier.
Okay.
He's so you'll see kind of trotting maybe out of the darkness a very slender dog with real long ears, very sharp features, kind of elongated eyes. The nose is a bit pointier than you would expect for most dogs. Kind of happily trots up, tongue hanging out a little bit. Might be forked, might not. Don't know yet. But he's got on it's not a dog collar. It looks more like the collar to like a suit. But not enough you could fold it over a tie, and then a little like silver and blue embroidered bow tie right under his neck.
Amazing. And I want it to like echo your
Oh yeah, it's
collar.
like, yeah, it's similar styling.
I love that. That's perfect. Okay. So we've got Battle up, and Battle, if you'd like to include your familiars as well, that would be absolutely fine with me.
Familiar
And then-
playdate.
Freya,
Oh, yeah.
Well, we'll get into that in a minute. And Freya, you're on deck. So Battle, what are we looking like today?
Okay, so Battle gets her reference of what's fancy from her former life as a mortician.
Oh God.
So she is a wood elf
Dead.
who is like, I don't have it written down, but I've always imagined her to be like 6'5",
Yeah.
pale green skin, very light green hair, typically braided in. Her hair kind of looks like it's made of ivies or like plant matter. And then she has really bright amber yellow eyes. And she's just kind of like a long and lean build. And so she's wearing a black suede-like velvet suit, so it's like very rich in color. She typically goes for something pragmatic, well-fitted, but still with enough room to move, and pockets, of course. On the ends of her sleeves are golden ivy filigree, along with the same design on the lapels of the suit. She's wearing a crisp white shirt underneath with a deep green bow tie and a gold vest. Her hair is in her usual kind of French-style Katniss braid, but it's wrapped into a big bun at the base of her neck with golden ivies woven inside of the braid. And then she's wearing black, kind of short boots, almost like Chelsea boots, with golden soles.
Awesome.
Ashy.
And then whenever you're ready for Shy and Ren, I'm set.
2 seconds. Chelsea boots, gold heels. Got it. Okay. Give me Shy.
All right, Shy is wearing a deep green bow tie matching, and white wrist cuffs on her ankles. Shy is Shieldon, a dog that looks very much like dogs we know.
Tara, does she look like
Yeah.
Tara?
She
Come
looks
here,
exactly
Tara.
like Tara.
Does she look just like
Um,
Tara? She looks just like this dog.
Yes. So, black, medium-sized dog with very
girl.
curly, tight
Oh, I see.
fur and a very nice long snout.
Nice long snout. Nice long snout.
Yeah. And then Ren, our tiny little tortoise that sits in a, because of course Shy has to still wear the harness, but right now it's made out of the velvet because we're fancy.
Right.
Ren is wearing a tiny little like yellow goldenrod bow tie and is smiling extra big because
Oh my god.
feeling fancy.
Oh my god.
And for clarification, this tortoise is in fact in a dog-mounted tortoise Bjorn.
Yes.
Yeah,
It is a front chest, externally facing tiny tortoise on the dog's chest.
And constantly just smiling, just like
Just smiling, watching everybody, and like just along for the ride. Just always excited about life.
And you said it was a bow tie, right?
Yeah, just a little. Everybody's got the bow ties.
I
We're
love
fancy.
bow ties. I put them on. I put
Yeah.
them on my dogs all the time. So
Those
I
guys are cool.
I want to take just a minute to say that Stash has entered for the giveaway. So we're doing a giveaway today for this spoon. It is perfect for eating ice cream in. Nom 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 nom. And it has my logo on it, like 7 Spoon. And it says like 7 Spoon on the back. And I won't guarantee that it's magic, but it probably is, considering the stream you're watching right now. You can enter by typing in ! It's my birthday. And I'll do the drawing near the end of the stream. So check that out. Okay, so next we've got... I love all the familiars, by the way. Next we've got Freya and Winnie's on deck. Freya, what are we looking like tonight?
So Freya is also in a suit, but it looks a little different than Battles. So it is like pretty fitted through the top and the like sleeves, pretty straight cut. But the bottom, the pants are like long and flowy, like almost if you like stand together, they look almost like a skirt. And then like when you move, they kind of kick out, which is great because it's very important because that allows you to see the shoes that she's wearing. Which are these like dark blue stilettos that are obviously magical, so they're very comfortable.
Of course.
But you can't see them unless she's like moving. And her, so she's a human, she, her pronouns, and her hair is like curly and bright blue and very hard to contain. And so there are an amazing number of bobby pins in her hair, many of which she will not be able to find for several days, but has managed to contain her hair all up in one-ish piece. And then she has these several different like small gold earrings that depict like daggers and lightning bolts.
Love it. We all know that that's going to come down as the night goes on, right? Like, her hair cannot be
It's
contained.
probably not going to last.
I can already see like the lightning, sort of like tiny lightning, like crawling across from bobby pin to bobby pin.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let me just get the earrings down. Daggers and lightning.
It's
Love
very, very
it.
exciting.
She has bright blue hair too, right? Did you say that? Like,
Yeah.
yes,
She
Freya's
has
hair is great.
she has this like bright blue hair, and then her shoes are like a darker version of the same kind of like color tone.
All right, love it. And that brings us to Winnie. We're gonna wrap it up with Winnie. What is Winnie wearing this evening?
So Winnie, also being a furbolg.
Yeah, furbolgs.
Deep, rich blue skin.
Yep.
Really deep brown eyes. Her pronouns are her, she, her. She's got brown hair with like streaks of gray running through it that look kind of like, you're not sure if it's natural highlights or if it's aging. It's kind of hard to tell. And she appears in this deep red-brown, like almost brick-colored dress that is also similar to Battle, made of kind of velvet-like suede-ish material. And it has these really long sleeves that go all the way almost past her hands that are like kimono sleeves that like you can hide stuff in pretty much. And the fabric has all these gold flowers embroidered all over it, kind of from top to bottom. It has this really high neckline that pretty much covers most of her neck, but it has this really cool, I love this in dresses when there's like this diamond-shaped cutout all over the chest. It shows just a little bit of cleavage, but
Yeah.
everybody also can see that she has this maybe quarter to half-inch sized gold flower necklace with blue painted onto the leaves with some kind of either glass or other shiny material that makes the leaves look really shiny, like if they're wet. And she also got a purple sash around her waist in honor of Spoon's birthday.
Yes.
that it wraps around and then it like hangs down the front and kind of like swishes with the skirt whenever she moves. And her skirt is really, really full. Like there's a lot of fabric involved there. And it doesn't like poof out, but it kind of just like hangs down. But like you get the sense like if she spun, like it would flare out like a big mushroom.
Also sounds
And
super comfy to sit on.
I know. And it of course has pockets.
I'm just going to assume everyone's got pockets of pockets, buckets of pockets.
And not girly pockets, real pockets that you can
Yeah,
put stuff in.
real pockets. You can put like your
I think-
whole hand in. Yeah.
I think out of everyone, Quentin probably has the girliest pockets. Like they
Definitely.
Fit, like, maybe
Definitely.
maybe like a couple coins and maybe
You
a
could,
pocket
like-
watch, and that's
you
about it.
You could like maybe fit like just the tips of your fingers in.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, definitely. I want
Yeah,
Quentin
that
to have
sounds
dumb
right.
pockets. Yeah. Everybody else has
You
real
don't want to
pockets.
ruin the line.
Oh my god, Quentin is the worst. I like how everybody else is dressed as sensibly. Yeah. Okay. All right. So you're
I
all.
still have more.
Oh, I'm so sorry. What... I heard pockets and got excited. What else do you got?
So all of the edges of her her hems and like the edges of the little diamond cutout and the bottom of her skirt are all hemmed with that same gold that's in her necklace.
Mhm.
And she also has this like shimmery sheer, I don't know what that fabric is, but you know, like that fabric that they put on top of stuff to make it look sheer and shiny. But it's peach colored and it's like a cape that's hanging off of her
Awesome.
and like flowing backwards.
So
kind of
that's
like
over the.
bridal style.
Sorry, is that over the whole dress or
It's
just?
over the whole dress.
Yeah.
Yes. Like it's like wrapped around her shoulders.
Got it.
And then like her hair is normally braided down the side. I didn't realize our hair was so similar, Battle. But it's right now it's loose and like super big and curly, like Hermione, but like at the Yule Ball style. It's like controlled curls instead of just frizz.
That sounds great.
And she has like henna tattoos down the side of her face that has the scar on it, that are like flower vines down the side of her face. And
Love
that's
it. Well, y'all are looking super fancy. You're
I
standing.
like that each description got more and more detailed. It's like
I know, I feel bad about mine.
we're working up to the main event.
Would anybody like to add anything to theirs? Because I know that this is how that works, right? Like the first person goes and they're like, I have a thing. And then the last person goes and is like, and all of these little details. And the first person is like, I have details. Does anybody else want to expand or did we just naturally go in that order?
I think the only thing I might add is that Quentin does have, there's like a little chain that runs from like, you know, one of the buttons near his collar to like a small, you would assume to be a pocket watch. Kind of about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Good. Brandel, anything you want to add?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
I think in the first version of this stream I mentioned this, so I want to make sure I mention it here. Brandel has buttons that are made out of the shiny side of shells, and they're like
yes.
they're very shiny and very sort of
Mother of Pearl.
mother of pearl kind of, and they've got like little patterns in them. I think we said like I think that would look really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so y'all are dressed up super fancy. You're standing in a group. All of you are right next to each other in front of this gate. Is there anything anybody wants to say to one another before we move on? Stream. I'm making this canon in their game in case, unless anybody dies, then that's not canon. But so they'll remember this when they go back to their
Back up from
regular
a save
game,
point.
right? And one other thing I should mention: none of you have your weapons.
Oh, so all the stuff Drew's just usually carrying
Not
is...
carrying. The only
Cool.
thing you have on you is your magic spoon. So Brandel, Druge, and
Oh.
Quentin have only their magic spoons. Broken Bane does not have any at the moment, which will become relevant in a second. But none of you have any weapons. And no, I don't count familiars as weapons. Yes, Battle.
I want to immediately run up and give Freya a big ol' hug.
Great.
Because it's been a minute.
Yeah.
'cause we don't, like, no idea where you've been, but I missed you!
Winnie is also going to run over and give you a hug.
I was gonna say
Freya
there's nothing
is,
else
like-
to say, but Freya.
Freya looks around for a second, like, oh, this is not the portal that I was stepping through, and then sees her friends and gets really excited, and gives them a giant hug.
Great. I love that. I was hoping. Yeah. And Aaliyah, you're sort of seeing this group that you've started bonding with run up to this woman with bright blue hair and just like glom onto her.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm not bothered because I just went through a portal, and so mostly I'm just like, I do a massive, if it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, I cuss in Elvish very, very loudly.
Love it.
I'm not happy with this loss of control over my life.
Yep, that sounds accurate.
Oh, Freya, this is Aaliyah. I think you'd get along great.
Freya looks up and like just waves a little bit. Can she tell? Like, Aaliyah is very loud and
When she
not happy
swears.
about this portal
Yeah.
thing, right?
Just briefly, right? It's like it just erupted, and then I notice what's around me, and I see you with these people I'm getting to know. I'm a bit cagey though, to be honest.
To be clear,
Freya's
we're
gonna like wave but like not come closer because like I don't know you and I haven't seen my friends in a long time.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
think
and
Freya
that
or
suits
Aaliyah
me
would be
fine.
rude at all. I think this is like a good
No.
home. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like
Yeah. Hi.
safe distance.
What's
Yeah.
up? Yeah. And sorry,
We don't
Battle.
know each other well enough to care about each other yet. It's
Yeah,
fine.
no hugs yet. Maybe like a handshake, you know, and like or a high five or whatever version or elbow, you know, whatever we're doing in the new world. Handshakes aren't a thing anymore, right? Like no one's gonna give each other a handshake in real. I'm not accepting handshakes for the rest
Try
of
to
my
give somebody a
life.
handshake and they'll think you're an old man.
Somebody's gonna try and shake my hand, and I'm just gonna go pandemic, and then move on with the conversation like nothing's happened.
This is why I love you.
Sorry, Battle, you were trying to Battle. Whoa, why would you do that? No, sorry, Battle, you were trying to say something. What was that?
Were we in the maze until right at this moment?
Yes.
I think also just for flavor, Shy is like rolling on her back, taking in all of the sunshine.
'Cause she's not wearing her usual vest with all this gear on it. She's just
She's
wearing
super jazzed about it.
the
yeah.
bow tie and she's just like, hello. And I
I
think
think
Marrow
Red's just like, yeah,
just enjoying it. I think Marrow is probably like, other dogs try to eat me and or the food I'm trying to get, so I don't know what to do about this
Oh,
right now,
yeah,
but this
yeah,
dog's
yeah.
not trying to eat me,
Oh,
so
God,
maybe I will
dogs
smell the
everywhere.
butt and it'll be okay, and
Quentin's gonna pull Marrow into a between the legs heel and kind of work on like.
he'll be like, okay, Papa. Okay,
and
Papa.
You've seen like tactical dogs do this, where like they run and like squat, and the dog
Yeah.
is like, "I'm laying down,"
Yeah.
and like he's doing like that whole thing, so he's trying to distract him.
But I think Shy would probably be like, friend.
Yeah, no, Shy's definitely all about this and is like,
Does
who are you?
I can do it
does
too.
Shy do anything to
I can-
interact with
I
Marrow?
I think Shy would do all the same things you're asking Marrow to do, to be totally honest, because she knows it too. So you ask Marrow to like between the legs, and Marrow does it between Battle's legs, and is like, I can do too.
Does Shy come up and try and like
Yeah.
sniff Marrow's butt at any point or anything like that?
I think Shy would look to me for permission first.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I would probably then, oh gosh, twice the character names. This is great for
That's why
ADHD.
that's why I put the template in the Discord, so you can be
Yeah,
like, who the fuck is talking?
I think I would look at Quentin for like, is this cool?
Is this cool?
I kind of like nod and kind of watch Marrow
I think
And
Shy
like-
would be very polite.
I think
as Shy
yes.
gets up and close and like starts to do the like dog hello. Marrow is just gone, and he's like 6 feet away somewhere else.
Oh, I forgot about
If
that.
Marrow did that, I think Shy's gonna think this is a game and immediately go
Yes!
like this is what we're
There
doing.
we go.
Nice.
Here we go.
Okay, so that's happening in the
It
background.
doesn't, to be clear, doesn't run away. Is just one place and then is the next.
Yeah. Like
Bam.
suddenly is like whoop over
you
there.
Might say blinks.
Yeah. You
They're
might
playing
say.
Shy loves this in the background. Shy's just all about this, and now the dogs are fully occupied by each
I'll
other.
toss him bacon so he knows it's cool and they'll have the best time.
And I think he goes from like, oh no, to like, oh, this is happening. Oh, this is a game. Okay, here we go now. And it's cute and fun. Okay, so while the dogs are playing, what are the adults doing? Can I refer to you all as adults? Is that fair? All right.
I think so.
What
I
are
think Winnie is kind of like side-eyeing Brandel, and, like not in like a I'm interested in you way, just kind
Not
of
in a
like
hey girl, hey.
I have not seen another
Furball.
furball in a really long time, and I'm
Yeah.
kind of feeling awkward and kind of want to go say hi, but at least I don't know if that's socially acceptable or not.
Like the one other goth kid at a party.
I think I would feel like kind of the same way. Like I would just like feel like, oh, like a little bit surprised, but also like, you know, pleasantly surprised, I guess.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
oh, that's a thing. Yeah, okay.
Awkward furballs, just like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
what?
Mhm.
Like I'll look at Brandel and then like look away, and then Brandel will look at me while I'm looking away, and then at some point like we'll both look at the same time and then be like, oh my god.
I feel like Belle would walk up to the two of you being awkward
It's
and
just
be
be
like,
like, take their
"Feel
hands and be like,
blue?"
here you go. Oh, God.
Oh god. Here we go.
Wow. Yeah. Battle would do that. Okay, so in the middle
What
of
if my
all...
captions say Canada party?
I don't know. Okay, so in the middle,
Contracts.
while y'all are...
We don't know where
yes,
we are.
Tyler, sorry, Yume, what did you want to say?
Jeez.
You're okay. You take-
Hi, you three. We were just in a big long tunnel looking for a loom beast, but there's a lot of weird magic happening. Did weird magic happen to you too? Also, I'm Yume, by the way. What's your name?
Druge will sigh, but it'll go through the trunk, so it sounds more like a trumpet than a sigh. He'll turn over to Quentin and just, is this the doll thing again?
Listen, I told y'all to not mess with the dolls in a forest. Like, they had food at a tea party, and I told you. I have no idea, though.
Was the doll made with the loom?
They didn't seem to be cloth, but they were moving and talking, and the teddy bears had sharp teeth, so didn't go near it.
I am particularly proud of what I'm doing in Treasure Tuesday right now, just for the record.
Nope, didn't go near it.
Well, we
I have
tried.
been instructed
We
better.
tried.
It'll
Brandel,
be okay.
we tried.
I mean, we were gonna not go near it, but then everyone was like,
But I
"Let's
want
go,"
to. Yeah.
you know. So
We
it kinda
tried.
Didn't
Randall
work
and I
out.
were invisible and ran away.
So Yume picks up on the inward direction of
The conversation.
the Treasure Tuesday people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These three
And it
weirdos.
does the thing
yeah.
where over the top like introduces everyone by name.
Yes.
That's perfect.
This is Battle. This is Aaliyah. Very cheerful about it and tries to prompt the three boys to
Uh-huh.
introduce themselves.
Only
I think we
socially
stop
acceptable
our-
human. Yes.
Yeah, stop arguing and start slipping back into social graces.
Yes.
And Quentin will walk forward and say, my apologies. It's stressful. Everything seems to be okay for the moment. My name is Quentin. Quentin Zilth, if you prefer a surname. This is my traveling companion, Druge, and we recently joined a party that includes this gentleman, Brandel, here.
I was like, your traveling
Hi.
companion Druge and this other guy? Like, I was like
Is this like Quentin getting and Peggy'd in
Yeah. No, it's
happened.
made.
That was happening last session. Everybody had titles except for Quentin.
yeah, okay.
Like, bro.
Cool.
And Druge will kind of nod at the introduction because surnames are not his thing.
Yep.
Winnie is going to say, well, I respectfully disagree that everything seems to be okay. I can't find my axe anywhere, and these aren't my clothes. I mean, I've definitely seen them before, but they're not my clothes, and I'm I'm a little worried about what's happening, and I don't like being without my axe. Is everyone else missing their weapons too?
I don't usually carry.
I do not have my weapons either.
Does this feel anything similar to when we've been yoinked out before?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
But before you say anything, the gnome at the gate says, "Ahem!"
Oh, there's no.
And has clearly been trying to get your attention for like a minute. And he's like, in the mistress's realm, y'all are not allowed to have weapons. Will you please present your invitations?
Immediately start patting myself
I
down.
You
immediately
find-
start checking my pockets.
So the
There are a
treasure...
lot.
When he cleared his throat, Ren and Shy immediately stop what they're doing and look up and jump.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh no, Good Notes quit. Hang on, I can't do this game without Good Notes. Hang on a second. One second.
Take your time.
Oh, it broke. Oh my god. Hang on one second.
It's okay.
We're here for the fun times.
I say in chat, but I'm gonna say it out loud while Spoon gets Good Notes back up and running. I'm getting serious Clue vibes. If anyone else has seen Tim Curry.
So
Madeline
Why would
Kahn.
you say that?
So as y'all are like patting, the Druge and Quentin and Brandel will find only their spoons, and the rest of you find nothing. And time will freeze. Like the gnome will go to open his mouth and like freeze and the rest of you are all still moving, except Shy and Marrow are frozen, and Ren are frozen, but the humanoids are moving. And you hear a familiar voice, the sweet dulcet tones of the mistress. My son has run off and is hiding, the naughty boy, so I've brought you here to find him. Do so, and I'll send you home at the end of the evening. If you don't find him by the end of the evening, well, we'll just have to talk about that, won't we? And enjoy the party, my sweets. Also, try not to destroy too many things. I might get angry, she giggles, and then time unfreezes. And the...
How is it that she's familiar?
I don't know that. I think Broken Bane is familiar with the mistress a little bit because of the first adventure you got yoinked into. No, wait, no. Hang on. You
I
went
don't think
into...
so. Only Freya.
Okay, so this is only familiar to Treasure Tuesday. I'm
Oh, no.
I'm
Is it?
realizing out loud.
Is it Treasure Tuesday or just like Bartholomew Relic?
No,
Treasure Tuesday?
no, Quentin.
No, because we had the.
I was
tunnel.
there.
Oh,
yeah,
was it?
Quentin.
Right.
There was a dog. There was a dog and everything.
Yeah, remember last year on my birthday, I chucked you all into a place where you got the magic spoons?
Yeah.
Right.
There was the guy that was like, she switched out the parties again.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Okay. Too many campaigns. Sorry. Carry on.
Yes, I'm
It's
having
only
the same
6.
problem. So Quentin, Druge, and Brandel are familiar with this voice, but the rest of you, this is the first time you're hearing it. Although Freya, we haven't talked about this, but you are also familiar with this voice, and I'll explain it later. But you've spoken to this individual. Yeah. Thank you.
Sure, it's fine.
Well, those are a lot of conflicting instructions.
Which I am willing to repeat as your GM whenever you would like.
How are we supposed to find someone if we don't know what they look like, and if we don't know where we are?
And also enjoy a party in
So-
the middle.
You say that out loud, and the guard says, "You are at the mistress's domicile, and her son, I'm sure, is inside. Just please give me your invitations, your spoons. Give me your spoons. Present your spoons. You will keep them, of course, but in order to enter, you must present your spoons."
And Quentin will walk up and hold up his spoon.
And he looks at the spoon, and he looks at his list, and he says, "Enter."
I'll step through.
Druge will follow right behind and hold the spoon with his trunk and kind of dangle it as close to gnome height as he can get, which
And
might be, a foot or two above him.
The gnome appreciates this and is like, "Yes," and checks his list and says, "Enter."
Right behind Quentin.
Is Brandel next?
Yeah, I'll follow them.
He
I'll look into the group and see what they're doing.
Yeah, so
Oh,
the
I'll
rest.
just show my spoon.
Yep, so he checks your spoon, he looks at his list, enter. The gnome looks at the rest of you and he says, she sent you here without spoons. None of you have spoons. Is that correct? And he
I
Correct.
says,
indicate, but yeah.
she sent you here though, so she wants you to be here. One moment. And he opens his vest and like a drop cloth drops out and there are just
Like the guy selling watches on the street
Just
corner.
these little fake Rolex.
Yeah.
actually, and the spoons you're looking at are wooden and the 3 spoons that you just saw were metal. And Shauna forgot to pull up her spoon.
Quentin says light colored brass.
Oh my god, it's gone. Why is this happening to me?
Oh no.
Oh, hang on. Okay. No, oh, this is
Alright.
an older version. I guess this will work.
You can always update it later.
Okay. Let's see. He hands Aaliyah a spoon that looks exactly like a tongue, but it's made out of wood. It's very soft too, and if you think about it too hard, the weight and consistency, it feels like the weight and consistency of holding a tongue.
So I sort of take
This is
it with
fine.
my thumb and index finger and
Mhm.
like just kind of hold it out to the side, trying to look poker faced, but not really succeeding.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly disgusted.
Yep, that's exactly right. You are going to be handed a spoon that is carved just like a spoon, but the word lore is carved into the handle. Yep. So this is a joke because the player for Brandel regularly yells lore when we play other video games. So I had to make the spoon. It was very important. Battle, you have been handed a wooden spoon that has wings carved into the handle. Actually, the spoon, like the handle turns into like 2 wooden wings. Freya, you have been handed a wooden spoon that it's wooden, but the handle appears to be a feather. No capital.
Freya is very excited about this and puts it in her breast pocket so that the feather part is sticking out.
And
Awesome.
then
Battle sees Freya do this and mimics that behavior, smiling.
Winnie.
I think Quentin tries to follow, but like the spoon only goes in like a 1/4 of an inch because the pocket's too small, and he's like just rolls his eyes and sticks it in his vest, like tucks it in.
And Winnie, you have been handed a wooden spoon that has been painted so perfectly to look exactly like a metal spoon. And he
That's some
says,
of that metallic metals going on.
"There you are. I must give you these. You're not allowed entry without them, but the mistress has dropped you here, so it is necessary for you to hold on to this for the evening. Let me just mark off which ones you have," and he marks them off, and he says enter after each mark. Okay,
Is it
so
alright with you if we trade spoons?
absolutely. Just tell me what you're doing so I can write it down.
That was in character.
Oh, sorry. Does anyone want to trade spoons?
Do you want mine?
Oh no, I wanted to ask the gnome if there's any issue with us trading spoons. I have no plans to immediately.
the gnome says, "I don't care what you do with the spoons once you have them, but you have to have a spoon in order for it to remain on the premises."
Okay, good. Thank
I
you.
repeat myself. Do you want mine?
Sure, you don't look like you're happy with it. You can trade.
Really? Okay. There you go.
Okay,
Do you hold your palm out and then feel like a tongue texture land on
Yep.
your hand? How do you
Yep.
feel about that?
She's grossed out for a second, but then happy that she got to help you not be grossed out anymore.
Oh my god, that's adorable.
And Aaliyah's like, huh, maybe you really are just a nice person.
Yeah, I think of everybody in the campaign, Yume is the clearest example of a nice person. No offense to anybody else, but like Yume is very clearly the perfect example of a nice human.
Because there are so many humans around right now.
Humanoid. Wait, stop that. So Aaliyah, you have the word Aaliyah, you have the spoon with the word lore carved into it, and Yume, you now have the spoon that looks like it's or feels like a tongue. Ugh. Sorry about that. Okay.
You made them.
I know, but I made gross ones, and I didn't pull out any of the really gross ones. That was the least gross one. For the record.
That's fair.
Okay, so you've entered the gates. You are standing in a beautiful rose garden. Their luscious scent is in the air. There are twinkling lights appearing as the sun's last rays disappear below the horizon. The path under your feet is made up of the finest stones. The path seems to be laid out in a complicated swirling pattern. It teases at the mind like a forgotten memory or maybe a broken promise. And the mansion looms up in front of you. The path winds its way towards the mansion. The front doors are thrown open. There's lights spilling out. You can hear the murmurs of people inside. What are you all doing?
I'm counting the exits to the grounds and checking for guards and looking at the roof and all of those things that I do.
So what's
Out of
interesting?
habit.
What's interesting about where you are is that when you get to the edges of what seem to be the grounds for this, everything sort of turns into mist. You don't see any guards. When you look back through the gates, the other side is just mist. You can see the gnome sort of peeking through, and then he turns back around, and it's just mist where you were standing. Like there was no solid ground. You appear to be standing on solid ground now, but that's about it.
Look like at the back of the group and often walk backward facing so that I can just watch what's going on. I am very wary.
There appear to be a couple of guests in the garden, but they're behind bushes and they're murmuring. They're talking to each other. But other than that, you don't pick up any danger. You don't pick up any sense of an incoming attack or anything like that.
I think Quentin's gonna pull Marrow into a tight heel, and kind of look sideways at Druge, and then over at Brandel, and kind of like, all right, and just start walking towards the front door.
I guess we're all doing this then. And Druge will
I
turn
follow
around
behind.
and also walk backwards. And as he's doing so, he'll periscope the trunk up and kind of turn that around and just get a good sniff of the air in the vicinity.
Got it.
What kind of never loses her son at her own party?
So we've had the privilege of interacting with the mistress before, and we'll kind of look around nervously as if she's listening.
That's an overstatement.
And the only way through her activities, or to get out of her activities, is through it. So we're just gonna press forward, and I'm sure it'll make sense once we get in there. That's how this typically works, right?
Sense is also an overstatement. Go ahead.
So is it safe to say that everyone is following through the front door, or is anybody hanging back?
Winnie's definitely closer to the front of the group if possible to keep an eye out for things that might be coming at us.
Hulk beautifully
I am happy
at the
to
front.
let other people go in front of me.
Of course you are. Surprised you haven't turned invisible yet. Yeah. I was invisible last night in my one shot.
Charges past him and kind of brushes his shoulder a little bit and just doesn't make eye contact.
I'm totally comfortable with the idea of Winnie doing this in her usual gear, but I love the idea of Winnie doing this in a dress and being swish swish swish.
I think Battle's hanging more towards the back of the pack, but it also depends on what Freya's doing. I'm guessing that she's going to be feeling kind of a heady confidence from not only having their friend back, but also from not being in the very dark and very dreary maze. So she's probably going to feel a little more comfortable than usual.
Right, it's
and
brightly
also,
lit, there's food, yeah.
Yeah. And Freya's here, so it's like, well,
Right.
I take the
Yeah.
time where I got it.
What could go wrong?
You
So
may
many
make sure
things.
that Dandy is invisible before we approach any other people here at the party.
Okay.
Just keep him out of sight. And also, I think she's going to be doing a little bit of subtle social engineering, where she's
Yes.
positioning herself around the group to subtly coax them into walking near each other when they would otherwise kind of drift off.
I love it.
Covering the points that people could easily, like, I'm just going to get out of the way a little, like, try to
Oh,
subconsciously
sorry,
prompt them to move
here
closer
we go.
together.
Yeah, totally. I get what you're doing. Great. Okay.
Jubei is being like an Australian shepherd.
I was just gonna say sheepdogging the
we're
group.
like super cheerful about it. Like, hello. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so you make it through the front door, and as soon as you make it through the front door, the first thing that you can hear is this guy who will not shut up. Now, before we get into this, I would like you all to use skills. I'm gonna ask you for skills. I can talk. I want this to look like a skills challenge. I want you to use your proficient skills, and I'm gonna look for successes and failures, and that'll be terribly interesting. And every time you talk to somebody, I'm going to let all of you do whatever you'd like to do, but I would love it if you could flavor it with a skill challenge. Now, if at any point you're like, I just want to ask this question and I can't tie it to a skill and I don't care, that's okay too. But the proficient skills I thought would be entertaining as far as a one-shot goes. Questions or concerns? I think
you
I
want
Can't
us to-
use something that's not proficient, or we have to use something that's proficient.
I'd rather you use something that's proficient. If you're like, I just want to do a thing, let me know. I might be able to fit it into a proficient skill, or I might just be like, that sounds cool, do that.
Or roll at disadvantage if you're not proficient.
Maybe, we'll see. I mostly want you to just do stuff and sort of flavor it with your skills.
Totally fair.
Okay.
And do we have access to our spells at this point? Or we don't have our weapons?
Yeah.
Okay.
Spell.
So there's a halfling dressed as a prince. He's bragging left, right, and center. He's bragging that he knows a ton of people, and he knows a ton of secrets, and he can keep them. The people he's talking to are sort of like, oh, I'd rather be anywhere else. He's...
Is he drinking anything?
No. He is talking about how loyal he is to the mistress, of course. But who knows how things will shake out with the rest of the family. Like her son. Now, there's a good lad. Where is he? Shouldn't he be here? At this party? For his mother? Gosh. What do y'all do?
Are there drinks anywhere nearby?
Absolutely. Everywhere.
So I'm gonna go get a drink. Can I use insight to think what type of drink he seems like he might like?
Absolutely.
The broad guess.
Roll me an insight.
I'm gonna use my. Oh, I should have styled my suit after these. The ionized hematite. Should not have. That's a nat 1.
He definitely seems like the kind of guy that would drink just a straight whiskey. Just a straight
so I'm
up
gonna go get a straight
harshest whiskey in the entire world.
Take my spoon, which when activated, the bowl fills with whiskey, and stir it into the whiskey, so it's a whiskey, and walk up and.
For the record, sir,
so-
in real life, who knows nothing about alcohol, that's a terrible idea. Just for the record,
I
you
know
are
something
leaning.
about alcohol, and I know that that's a terrible idea.
Okay, just checking.
I'm
So you're
playing off of
leaning.
that
You're
one.
leaning into the one. Got it. Okay.
Yes.
So you walk up to him with this drink.
Yep.
He'll say, "Oh, thank you. What is this? And you are?"
Hello, I'm Quentin Zilth. Pleasure to meet you. I heard your stories you were regaling everyone with, and thought it deserved a drink, and I'd love to hear more.
And he says, "Yes, I do know all of the best things." And he takes a sip and then immediately goes, "Bleh," and like spits it back out. And he's like, "Bleh. Thank you." Bleh. And like, it's like, "Nah, don't like that at all." And tries to set it on anybody else's tray.
Oh, apologies. Is that not your preferred drink. It was just it looked like the most popular one over at that table, so I thought it would be the best choice.
Oh, clearly you don't know anything about me. But I know just so many things. He has a one-track
I
mind.
don't know anything about much of anything. That's why I wanted to talk to you so much.
Of
Maybe I could learn.
Of course you would want to talk to. Can you?
I look over at Drew's like, shit.
You gotta roll for this at all?
Deception.
Yeah, roll me that.
I'm gonna roll a different die. That's better. That's a flirty 20. Not an actual 20.
Are you trying to flirt with him?
No, it just instead of dirty 20, it's a flirty 20.
I see. I'm okay with you trying to flirt with anybody. I just we'll do like veils if you
Not at the moment.
sexy at all. But yeah, okay, just checking. He's
He did just abandon his girlfriend, so it's fine.
he did.
Wow,
Quentin
still.
did just abandon his girlfriend.
It's not what happened.
It's horrible. Not even a note. It was, but she's
Oh my
pining
God, you
away.
guys are the worst.
So he's gonna
Handle yourself.
he's gonna take on the idea of like, yes, I can teach you things. But he looks around at your friends and he says, "And who are your friends? Who are these individuals?"
Oh, and I'll wave everyone over.
Freya snags a drink and pointedly avoids getting close to this guy.
Got it.
Druge will grab whatever the equivalent of a wine glass is very daintily in the trunk and not actually drink anything out of it, but kind of loom in the background.
Does he wrap it around the stem or does he pinch it daintily?
No, it's a pinch with the
Pinch with the finger, yeah, of the trunk.
Yeah.
Oh, Quentin, did you find someone you know? You're much more talkative than before.
Oh, this is my new friend, and I don't believe I got your name. We'd love to introduce ourselves.
I am Griftel, of course.
Griftel?
Yes,
A pleasure to meet you.
and you as well. Such polite manners. I was just talking to your friend Quentin. You did introduce yourself, right?
I did,
Stop
yes.
eating the Legos. I swear to God, there's a million cat toys in here. I'm gonna cuddle my cats
To death.
to death.
I definitely thought that was happening in the game. And I
I'm
was
very
really
sorry.
confused for a
I
second.
it just
What?
I have.
What kind of world is this?
I'm so sorry. We adopted a street kitten like months ago, and he's still not adapted
He
directly
gets in
to
these
the house.
moods where he's like, I'm in an alleyway, everything's gonna eat me, and just runs around.
Yeah, so he just sprinted across a bookshelf, which is not built for sprinting across a bookshelf, and then tried to pick up an entire Lego set in his mouth and run away with it, which went about as well as expected.
So Griftel yelling,
Nope.
"Stop eating the Legos!" I swear there's cat toys, and is now lore.
Or
You know what? I'm gonna go with it. Yeah, he yells this off to the side and then turns back and is like, "I was just telling your friend Quentin about how many
Totally
things that I know."
How many what?
On the way over, Battle grabbed like a champagne flute, also not drinking anything, just kind of holding it to blend in. Completely disinterested, raises an eyebrow, turns around and starts looking at what else is happening in the room.
Got it. You are seeing a room full of people dressed up vaguely ridiculously. You're seeing a lot of costumes. You're seeing a lot of like all the jewels, like the glitter. Like it almost hurts your eyes. Like some people have gone very daring in color, and you would not have done that. All shapes and sizes. You're seeing nobody in your party is surprised to see another. Well, you might be surprised. There's every walk of life is here. You may what Griftel was saying was that he knows all kinds of secrets and he can absolutely keep them. That's what he's known for, of course.
What's the biggest secret you've ever kept?
And he says, "Do you have any skill checks for that at all?"
I was thinking so hard, that's what I wanted to ask, but I didn't want to keep being the one talking.
I mean, I only have 4 that I'm proficient in, and it's either athletics, investigation, perception, or survival.
I'll take. I'll take an investigation check on this because you are investigating why he's being such a dork, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take an investigation check on that. See, I'm going to be
All
real
right.
flexible, folks.
I'm not really a fan of secrets myself, but Battle told me a couple days ago that women tend to have their secrets. I don't really know what that means.
It's true.
You have a lot of secrets, right, Battle?
I think we lost Tabby.
Oh, did we?
She gives you shifty eyes, nods, and kind of looks at Yume, and then turns back around.
That is 19 for the investigation check.
He says, well, I mean, the biggest and most important, it all comes down to family secrets, doesn't it? And, I mean, the most relevant secret of the moment is, where is Marketh, the mistress's son? Am I right? Of course I'm right. Of course I'm right. So that is probably the biggest secret. And of course I know where he is, but I'm not going to tell you.
I don't believe that's the biggest secret.
And he says, it is the biggest secret. There are no other secrets that are bigger right now. And he looks at Quentin like, you believe me, right? Like, there's no other big secrets right now.
I mean, that's a pretty mundane secret. I was hoping for something more impressive, but that's a very good secret. I'm sure it's a great start.
What is more impressive than where Marketh could be? What do you know? What?
If you know where Marketh is, wouldn't you be more interested in letting people know where he is so you can get the attention for solving the trouble?
No, because the mistress would get so angry if she knew where Marketh was, because he's here, of course, and he's hidden so cleverly. And if she knew, he would get so angry. She would get so angry, of course.
Quentin's gonna
Freya
lean down the
immediately starts
rope.
looking for potted plants.
You find several. They're on the edges of the room. They have very strange plants in them, but they do look like potted plants.
She starts talking to them, trying to strike up a conversation with each of the potted plants.
When you get to like your fourth plant, and it actually converses back with you. Oh, it's so nice. Nobody ever talks to me, and like has a whole conversation with you.
Freya loves this. She doesn't care about anything else anymore.
You
She's
end
just
up-
gonna keep talking to plants.
You end up talking a lot about the growth rate for blueberries, and how people are really just sort of obsessed with them, but they can do just as well. And they have like a different kind of berry, and they pop one out for you, and they're like, "There you go." See, look at
Freya
that.
does not consider this at all and immediately eats the berry.
It's a good berry, so you gain a point of health.
Oh, that's exciting.
God damn.
Oh wow.
I think with all of this like posturing without actually saying anything, Quentin is suspicious and leans down real close, and asks the halfling in hushed tones, "Have you seen any Order of the Rider at this party?"
And he says, of course I know what that is, and you'll just have to tell me so that I know that you know what I know."
Relic, I'm trying to make sure you don't get stabbed.
And he says, who is Relic? That's-
Never mind, and he'll stand up. I just look at Drusian Brown and be like, loud halfling, like I assumed.
Yeah, no, that's.
He looks very confused, and he's like, "Is this a secret? Is this a secret that you I mean, of course it's a secret that I know, but is it a secret that you know, and you should tell me so that I can find out if you know the secret?"
Yume, you were telling me about this definite secret that we were just talking about, right?
Yes, there is. Well, I don't like secrets. Sorry. But I know stories like the.
I'm sorry.
Do you know about the Z train?
Yes, the Z train is a train that looks like a Z. I really do think I know.
Not many people know about it. I don't think it's a secret, but.
Oh, I know about it,
Serious.
but I don't think it's as big as the secret of where Marketh is. I mean, that's a whole. That's like a puzzle inside of a secret, and no one would ever be able to solve it, even if I told them where the tuning fork was, and I'm not going to tell you.
Do you know?
Freya walks back up to everybody and she says, "Hey, did you know that some of the plants can talk?"
And he says, "Yes, I know the plants can talk, and it's not as important as a tuning fork."
A tuning fork, you say?
And he said, "No, I didn't say that because I can keep secrets, and that's not even a secret. Nobody knows that, and he stomps off.
As he starts to walk away, I think I'm gonna kind of like cross my arms, and with the arm that has a hand pointed towards him, I'm gonna kind of like wave my fingers and cast Hunter's Mark on him, which will let me know where he is at all times for the next hour.
Before he gets too far away, his shoulders are gonna slump, and he's gonna come back. And he's gonna come to Quentin and Yume specifically, and he's gonna lean forward, and he's gonna say, I only know about the tuning fork, and I really need to talk to Marketh, and if you could help me find him, I need to warn him about what his mother has planned, and do you think you could find, I can't, and he's sort of like hemming and hedging, and he says,
Is he in trouble?
He is in trouble.
Do we need to keep him safe?
Yes, it's very important that we keep Marketh safe. He is the future of this family, and it's so important to so many of us here. You know that, right?
Are you able to tell us what he's threatened with so we can prevent it from happening?
He turns as white as a sheet, and he says, No, I can't talk about that. But if you want to talk to Marketh, if you find you could talk to Madame Fru. And he points at a very large individual, very, like, extremely tall. Like, Druge, you would have to look up a bit.
Oh, shit.
And says, Madame Fru might know where it is. And he just hands you a figurine that looks like a cat. And
is this the tuning fork?
And he says, no, but she might like this, and you kind of have to bribe Madame Fru for information. Not like me, because I can keep a secret. So here you go. And then he walks away.
I mean, is this individual bigger than me? Because I think I'm the tallest one in the group. I think Luxodons are like maybe 8 feet. And
Yeah,
Furbolgs
Druge is
are like
about
10.
8 feet and change. Furbolgs are, depends, somewhere
how much
around
they're
7-ish feet.
Yeah.
Can I take a
How
peek
tall is
at-
Freya?
Freya's a human. She's like 5'7", 5'8".
Okay.
She's not
Yeah.
very tall. She's taller in her heels. She's like 6 foot something in her heels right now.
Yeah, so it's like
That's
Druge and the Furbolgs, and then everyone else.
I'm like
It could be
6'5".
52's cover band.
She's like 6'1", but then okay, how tall is Brandel? Tall, right?
Like yeah, like 7.
So
Yeah.
it's all of us and then Yume.
Yeah. You
But
may be.
Yume is like the polite, hello, how are you? I love it.
I imagine you may like fronting this and being like, hello, and like putting her hand out and stuff, and like just being backed by 7 other large individuals.
Very tall, very
Very
like,
tall, very like striking.
Mess with her.
Yeah,
Try it.
like
and 2 dogs in tight heels, and then
Yeah,
there's
just being
the
like, you know, and
Little
the
red.
turtle. Yeah.
And then the tortoise just, hello!
All
Can
of
I-
this is beautiful.
Can I take a look at Madame Fru and just kind of, how do I describe what I'm looking for here? I kind of want to look for. Yume isn't good at insight, but I'm trying to lean into how charisma actually works as a ability score and like
Mhm.
observe how she is social, like in what way, like how does she carry herself? What are the type of people she talks to?
Yep,
Is
I'll
she
take that.
energetic or?
Go ahead and roll me a charisma roll. I'll take it. I'll take it.
I don't know if that makes sense, but thank you
It
for.
made sense to me, and
punching
I
it for
like
me.
it. It's a big number, and I want you to succeed.
That is a flirty 20, 15
my
plus
God.
5.
Okay. Well, the first thing that you notice is she's extremely tall. She's definitely got giant blood in there somewhere. She's wearing a gorgeous silk ball gown that looks like it has an entire ocean embroidered on it in great detail. So you're seeing reefs, you're seeing sharks and sea turtles and octopus and like all kinds of things, and it's gorgeous and it's glittering. And most of the conversation she seems to be having is about the ocean and how we must save it, and it's very important and sort of conservation. And there are a couple of individuals that she's talking to that are very much interested in this conversation, and there are a couple that are like seeming to be polite in a way. So sorry. In a way where it seems like they want her favor, so they don't seem as interested in the ocean, but they're interested in her specifically.
Okay. So she seems kind of important. Does she also seem peppy or kind of reserved?
She seems very stately. She's a bit older. Her hair is in a swept up updo, and it's got a lot of silver in it.
Okay. I want to scoot over to. Oh gosh. Druge,
Yep.
Brandel, and Winnie. If I can just kind of like get in between the three of them.
The tall people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah.
Just putting So I think we need to talk to her. Her name's Madame Fru, and I think one of you three might stand a good chance because of the company she's keeping.
What does that mean?
I think you might have something in one of you might be able to have something in common with her and get on her good side.
Can
And
we
point
all
out.
hear what she's talking about?
Did you?
or-
Sorry. Did you pull who did you pull into this conversation?
I wanted to be in between
Uh,
Brandel, Druge, and Winnie.
Okay, so
Above
Brandel.
board, I'm secretly hoping Brandel takes the bait because
There we go. Yeah.
Beach girl.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I hold out
Uh,
this cat figurine. Like, if you give this to her, she might talk to you for a little bit, see if she knows anything.
What does Brandel do?
When he is looking around and like trying to make eye contact with Druge and Brandel and see like, it's that like, are you gonna do it? You're not gonna do it.
Do I have to?
Someone needs to do something.
I'll do it if I have to, but oh my god.
I don't
Somebody.
We hear her talking about beaches and the ocean,
Yeah,
and
do I hear
etc.
her? Do we
Or
all
was
hear her?
that just?
I don't think she would like the rest of us. We're kind of loud, so one of you three might be better suited to have a calm conversation with her.
She's not being quiet. Madame Fru is not being quiet, so like it's clear what she's talking about. Yes.
Druge will kind of flap his ears a little bit and lean over towards Brandel and, well, if anyone knows anything about the ocean,
I push
Oh,
the cat into
Brandel?
Brandel's hands.
I'll grab the cat. I'll grab the cat. I
It-
can
it-
give it a try.
It moves very slightly and curls up and starts to purr.
Oh boy.
Just gonna assume that oh boy was directly in character.
Yeah.
Good. Go make a friend.
Absolutely.
Feel free. Yeah.
Do you like very gently, like you may ishly like shove him over towards Madame Fru? Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
follow at all, or are you just sort of like, bye, have fun?
How tall
I'll
is he?
follow a little bit, just not all the way up to where, like,
Got it.
not going all the way, because that would be super obvious.
Yeah.
Winnie will grab his arm, like they're like a couple, to try and like give him some. Not like that.
I don't.
No, just guiding. That's normal.
I'm just guiding
Yeah.
and also
Just casually
Being
steer.
a little forceful.
Here we go, buddy. We're gonna
Let's make-
do it.
Yes.
Oh my god. Ugh.
Do this together.
Battle is beaming at Winnie right now. Beaming.
If Battle is beaming, Druge will kind of catch that and wink for a second, and then go back to watching this.
I'm also trying not to make this weird, but from you asking if Yume's pushing, like, I can't help but picture Yume, like, getting behind anybody to push them and just have to push on their butt.
That's why I was asking, like, how tall is you,
Full
Is
lean
she,
in,
like,
No, I'm
hands way above her head
This is
on the
amazing.
bank? Like,
no, I'm imagining Yume like doing that kind of thing where like she like turns and like opens the umbrella just to be like, oh yes, I have a parasol, and it like makes a space and Brandel has to move out of it kind of thing.
Very good.
Because you were talking about social engineering earlier, and I cannot tell you the number of times that I've seen a woman like shift her weight and bump her hip into a dude being like, get the fuck over there and talk to that woman.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So yeah. So I was imagining that. Yeah.
Yume, aren't you like barely 5 feet tall?
5'1". Mhm.
She's
So
literally half the size of a fur boulder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like what I'm loving is that, you know, I like butts is like a thing you can do exclamation point butts in the channel, and yeah. So yeah, Yume basically lives my life because I sit in a wheelchair and all I can see are people's butts. So Although I got a new chair, I think I can now see like boobs. So maybe
Yes.
that'll be a new thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I
I'll
was
be
gonna
able
add
to
It's
level.
gonna get harder to push past the terms of service when it comes to an emote.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna
I
ask
don't.
earlier,
I don't think
is-
they'll be able to do that one.
Is boob window the appropriate term for that diamond shape in the dress we were discussing?
I
earlier?
don't think that's the classical term.
Isn't that
That's
the
what I've
rectangle?
always heard it referred to as, is the boob.
The boob window. Ah.
That's
Yes.
amazing.
Okay.
I do not think that's the traditional term. Okay,
Fair
so
enough.
Brandel, you approach Madame Fru. She sees you coming, and she sort of like does the up and down to both of you, and doesn't seem opposed to you coming over. And she sort of swishes her gorgeous skirt. I cannot emphasize how gorgeous this skirt is. I thought about it for like an hour. I'm very excited about this particular skirt and nothing else. And
Okay, I get the hint.
just for the record, it's so pretty. So she swishes it aside, to face you, and is like, I don't think I've seen you here before.
Yeah, we sort of just arrived.
What brings you to one of the mistress's parties?
Well, I mean, the mistress, I guess.
Doesn't she bring us all these places? Yes, of course. I saw you talking to Griftel earlier. What did he have to say? He was bragging about something, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much, yeah.
Winnie is like elbowing him in the side at this point.
Where's the cat right now? Is it like just
You're holding
on
it? I think.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll just. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Excuse me. We sort of wanted to ask you a few questions.
Oh, yes. I've been speaking about Ocean Conservancy for most of the evening, but I'm happy to answer questions. What can I help you with, dear boy?
Well, I'm just gonna like look back at the ground.
To be completely honest, I built this character in this gorgeous skirt because I missed the aquarium back in California really badly, and I completely forgot that this would be like a Brandel interaction, and I'm really sorry. But you gotta, you gotta do something, buddy.
Is Brandel just going to
He's
talk
got
about the
this.
ocean stuff that he knows entirely too much about? For
Can
no
I cast
reason
my
in particular?
minor illusion and make just like a waft of pleasant sea salt go over the two of them?
Oh
Or
yeah.
three of them, because
I-
Winnie's there.
I can definitely imagine Brandel sort of like getting into like talking about Ocean Conservancy with Madame Fru, which is not quite the topic at hand, but I'm like, you can absolutely babble on about that for a while if you'd like.
Yeah, I know that I'm supposed to ask something. I'm just,
Waiting for an opening that never comes. Yeah.
Winnie is
Give her
going
the
to lean
gift and
over
say she's pretty.
Brandel's ear and wait, what'd you say, you may?
I said, psst, give her the gift and say she's pretty.
With a furball on his arm, like.
Yes, so Winnie's going to lean over into Brandel's ear and like make it look like, well, in Winnie's awkward way, try to make it look like she's just like mentioning something about Madame Fru, and be like, tell her that I really like her dress, but I'm afraid to talk to her, and that we have a gift for her, and this thing in your hand.
Okay, so you've got two pieces of advice, Brandel. Which one are you gonna do?
Okay. I'll just say, oh, that's a really pretty skirt, by the way. I don't know what to do with the cat.
Are you kind of holding it? Can you say that's a really pretty skirt and like look down at the cat?
Yes.
Give her.
And she says, "Oh, that's so kind of you, but if..." And she kind of looks around and she says, "If information is what you're interested in, I will accept something else in trade. Sir Egbert." And she points at another gentleman who is dressed exactly as a rabbit. He's very tiny and he's dressed like a rabbit. And she says, "Sir Egbert has these orbs full of jellyfish, and they're absolutely gorgeous, and I need one. So if you bring me one of those, I might be able to tell you something about a fork.
Got
Winnie is going to immediately disengage from this conversation and
Like,
Mr. Egbert to get one of these
away.
jellyfish.
Okay, while you're thinking about this, I want to check in with Aaliyah and Freya, because I haven't heard a ton from either of you. What are we doing, my friends?
Aaliyah, is anyone dancing?
Yes, there's definitely a dance floor, and there's definitely dancing.
And is it like kind of, a Bridgerton, like
Sure. Yep.
coordinated dance? So Aaliyah's been watching this whole time and like just kind of absorbing into her muscle memory the moves of the dance. And she's pretty much oblivious to everything else. She's sort of in her peripheral vision, can see the group. She knows that she's near them, but she's all about the dancing. She's never seen anything like this.
That's
and
true.
she's mesmerized.
And none of you have seen anything like this. Even those of you that are familiar with sort of group dances like this, it's a completely different level. There's a bunch of different steps because you're used to most dances being like same types of humanoids or persons rather. And in this dance, like it's all of them. And so like what you would normally imagine like two Loxodon doing, for example, is sort of like smoothed into what like two itty bitty fae would do, for example. So it's
Yeah, like how do you fit like a centaur into that?
yes. So it's a whole thing. Okay, and Freya, what are you doing? Are you just chatting up all the
So-
plants?
Freya is really stuck in this whole plant thing.
Mhm.
And since no one seems to talk to the plants and some of the plants talk back, she is asking all of the plants about this whole tuning fork thing,
Love it.
just to see if there's any extra information that she can gather.
Any I could see you doing an insight check on that on the plants.
Yeah, I was thinking either insight or because they're plant survival, but insight is good.
I'll take
And
either.
make
Yeah,
them
that
good.
works.
She got a 14.
Excellent. So one of the plants, who seems to be a rather prickly cactus, is sort of like, yes, the mistress and the son do this all the time. Marketh is just yes, of course, and I'm sure he's hiding here. Yes, of course. And there's been a bunch of racket from upstairs, of course. Yes, I don't know where the fork is though.
Freya is very confident that we need to go upstairs now. And she's gonna go over to Aaliyah since she's the only one who's like not actively involved in things, other than dancing, and but like doesn't know Aaliyah well enough to necessarily be like, we have to go upstairs now. So she's just gonna go over and be like, what are you doing? I maybe have some information, but I don't know if it's a good information. Do you want to come check it out with me?
So Aaliyah, like, kind of, it takes just like a little second longer than you would expect to sort of orient to what you're saying, and she turns and looks at you with like big eyes, like, what was that? And then you can see she's processing what you said, and she's like, okay, let's do it.
Freya did not notice that like extra pause because she was distracted with all of the dancing. So she takes another second to be like, "Oh, you said that."
Do you
And
do you
then-
wanna? And I point at the dance floor, and I'm like, do you want? No, it's okay. Let's go.
We could do that. We just like one, and then we could.
Let's-
It's fine. We have time. They're talking. It's fine.
Okay,
So
let's do
Freya
it.
committed to going to the dance floor for one dance, so she has
We
no.
are gonna go dance.
I am all about this. You absolutely join a line because that's how this works, and everybody's like super encouraging, and you're
I
both.
think we have like this moment where I'm like, I'll be the guy, and then like Freya's like, no, I'll be the guy, and
Yeah.
Freya's like, which steps are slightly less complicated? That's all I care about.
So there's like the lead and then the follower, sort of, and it doesn't. Gender's not really important. It's more like the one that like starts the
Okay.
the motion.
I love it. So I then then I guess I'm very happy to take the lead because
Great.
I've been absorbing all of these moves.
Yeah.
Freya's gonna follow and feel great about that.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of sort of like very clear like Aaliyah's like hitting those moves like on point, and Freya's like, "Is this what you want me to do?" A little bit.
Yeah, and
Freya's like, I can follow. This is fine.
Yeah,
Her
and I think
heels
you're
add
doing
a
a
little
really
bit
good
of
job.
extra follow grace. So
Yes.
I'm so delighted with Freya, like mesmerized delighted. I just think she's the best thing that's ever happened.
Yeah. That tracks. I think everybody's delighted by Freya. Okay, so while y'all are dancing, Yume, while Winnie and Brandel are having this conversation, like, are you doing anything with Quentin and Druge? Are you gonna send them off on another errand, or you seem to be orchestrating a lot of this, which I love, by the way. What are you doing? Are you observing like the Brandel Winnie interaction, or are you working on another thing?
Yeah, I think the last thing she was doing is trying to listen to how things are going with the Furbolgs and Madame Prue.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I love that there are two furbolgs. That's great.
Mhm.
Okay. Then Quentin and Druge, what were you doing during this conversation?
I think I'm kind of looking around the room to see, like, is there a balcony? Like, is there anything happening on the second floor? Is there any, like, artwork or anything that can kind of, like, the decor that can tell us kind of, like, what is the purpose of, what is the mistress trying to present to her guests?
Oh,
And
the
are there any scenes kind of in that facade?
the fanciest things possible. So the art that you see on the wall are very clearly like originals. Most of them are probably stolen or coerced of some kind. Most of the action is down here on this main floor. There were two large rooms off to the left and right on the first floor. There is a balcony to the second and third floors. It looks like rooms open off the balcony, but the ballroom that you're in goes all the way up to the ceiling, which is glass. And you can see stars through it. Blah, blah, blah.
And did Winnie head over to Egbert? What was his name?
Yes, that's where she's heading.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think as she kind of my eye would be kind of drawn over as she moves over there. Can I get a real good look at him? Does he seem like a costume, or does it seem like he's Fey folk?
Would you like to roll me a perception check on that?
Actually, I think investigation or perception, whichever you prefer.
Well, really, it's whichever you prefer, because one of those is a 9 and one of them is a 3. So whatever you prefer there, bud.
From this distance, I'll go with perception if I
And
get closer.
Aaliyah, I saw your hand. I'll loop back to you in a moment.
That's a glad I with perception. That's a 12.
If you're looking to see if people are Fey here, like it's tough to tell. Like the answer is just kind of be like probably. But he looks like with Egbert, it's really difficult to tell. Like those ears look super real. He's got the cleft top lip just like a rabbit does, and his nose is wiggling like theirs, but he's got, man arms. And it's really tough to tell.
Enough, like minor illusion that could replicate that.
Right, it's just
Yeah,
super tough to tell there.
Fair enough.
And Aaliyah, what were you gonna say?
Well, you were asking about skill checks, so I was wondering if there was any chance that my dancing would be graceful enough and natural enough that it would grab someone important's attention.
Well, roll me an acrobatics check. I think that would work well.
Okay. Oh, I say okay, and then I can't find my deck. Okay.
I asked if you had your dice earlier.
I know, I have them, I got them.
I love that you brought them
so-
with you. That makes me happy.
Yeah, I'm not at home, so I had to be organized for this.
I love that you brought
Okay.
dice with you. That's wonderful.
People travel without dice.
Oh, I'm having a hard time finding my bonus. I think is it +6 or plus
It's +7 actually.
+7? Okay, so I got a 14.
Great.
So yeah, that whatever that math is,
Your
21.
your dancing is absolutely gorgeous, and it draws over. It does draw over somebody. He is dressed like a grandfather clock, and he is just absolutely entranced by you and Freya's dancing. And when you reach the end of the line, he's gonna want to talk to you. Let me check back in with you in just a moment. So keep that in mind, Lord Horace. And Druge, what are we doing?
So we've got people on the dance floor. We've got people looking for jellyfish. We've got people observing. Is that the state of affairs at
Yep.
the moment?
Yeah, that's what you're saying. Yeah.
And what was Quentin up to? He was observing the rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was chasing the rabbit, you might say.
Oh my god.
I think.
Rabbit.
Are you asking if it's a white rabbit? Are we going full Jefferson Airplane right now?
He is a white rabbit.
Yes.
Perfect.
I didn't do this on purpose. It was just it was one of the first costumes I could think of. Okay.
And how much of the conversation with very tall lady and the furbolgs could Druge hear from his situation with the big flappy ears?
Why don't you roll a perception check for me with advantage?
I can definitely make that happen for you. Pretty good. It's a 22.
Yeah, you can hear everything. Like, it is not difficult to hear this at all. You can probably hear a bunch of other conversations happening at the same time if you were super curious about them. But yeah, it's not difficult to hear that conversation.
Cool. Druge will head over in Quentin's direction, but as he is passing battle, he'll kind of point with the trunk towards both Bramble and Winnie and Aelia and Freya and lean over and we're just gonna let that happen, right?
Absolutely.
Perfect. And then
I'm very content to let that just be as it develops. They get along well, right? Right.
Absolutely.
Ren is sitting there watching us talk back and forth, craning her neck.
Just
nodding, watching, nodding.
Druge's spoon would probably be going off at that point, since Druge has the heart
Oh, yeah.
spoon, in
Oh,
which
yeah.
Druge can talk to dogs, and they all love him.
Oh, yeah. Like,
Yeah,
Marrow
I
is
forgot
losing
about
his
that.
shit because there are food smells and he wants to eat all of it. And Quentin has said, no, you have to stay with me. And Marrow's like, but Papa. And Shy is like, I love it. This, I love this, and I love this, and I love this, and I love you and your
Shai's
friends.
just all about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very Ipsy personality.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say Ipsy. Shy is Ipsy in my head, clearly.
Well, no, you said Shy, but
Did I?
I imagine Ipsy's behaviors
I-
when you're describing Shy.
I straight up
Yeah.
thought I was saying Ipsy. Oh my god, yeah.
No.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on the same wavelength there then, yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, like a tight, like a quivering heel, like I know you want me to stay right here, but there are all these people that clearly need my love. Kind of thing. Yeah. We introduced her to the neighbors today and it was like a whole thing. So I have vivid imagery for what Shy's doing right now. Okay. Yeah.
And Druge will pause for a second and lean over again, and you might want to keep an eye on both of those two, and point towards both Shy and Marrow with
yeah.
the trunk. And
Noted. Thank you.
and head over towards Quentin and explain all the bits about jellyfish. And how big is Rabbit Person?
He's a little shorter than Yume.
Cool.
With a rapidly approaching 10-foot furbolg and fancy dress.
Oh yeah,
Like,
like
like skirts hiked up like Mark out there.
Kind of.
yeah.
I will
if
talk to
possible,
you.
I don't know how this works in timeline scale, but if Druge can head over there and beat Woody, that'd be ideal.
Let's get an athletics opposed roll from both of you, just for funsies.
Oh.
I am proficient at that.
So is
Both of you
Druge.
are, and you've got real close athletics there, so it's a pretty even roll.
Ooh.
Doesn't sound like it.
Flirty 20 for me.
26 for Druge.
Oh, Lord.
Wow.
All right. So,
Is
Winnie,
it gonna be real bad or real good?
so Winnie, I think there's just a split second where you have to like pull Brandel around and like we have to
Oh,
go
yeah,
in
what,
this
zero
direction, and Brandel's like, what's happening? And like you do that thing where it's like, the thing we have to do, and Brandel's like, what thing? And Winnie's like, the thing, and Brandel's like, oh, the thing, and like that slows you down just a touch. Is that fair to say, Brandel?
Yes, that
Yeah,
is
okay.
absolutely fair to say.
So, Druge, I think you'll make it there, like, maybe, like, a step before Winnie, and so let's pick up there. So, oh, no, I don't think I've checked in with Battle in a hot minute. Battle's not in Battle's
stepped
chair,
away for a
so... Nope,
Battle who
she's
is
running
just
back.
reappearing.
She's running back. What do we got?
I'm here. So
I'm sorry,
I think that just keeping Shy at heel and looking around at, I'm assuming there's food and stuff, and I mean, we just warped here and it's been a weird time, and Battle was super paranoid before we got warped anywhere, so she's probably going to be a bit wary of the food, so she's kind of sneaking scraps from her pouch. No, I don't. Do I have my treats?
No, it's not part of your very fancy outfit.
Oh.
Oh.
No.
Wait,
Mine's
no, are
going
these
away.
your treats for Shy?
Yeah.
Oh, no, you have those. Yeah, that's a
Yeah?
whole different thing. But it's in, like,
Okay.
the fanciest pouch in the world. It's
Like a
got
clutch
jewels
purse.
on it or something. It's
Yeah.
got to be
Yeah.
fancy.
Like a coin purse, like a bejeweled.
Yes.
Okay. So I yank that thing out and start treating her, so she is like focused.
Marrow, heel, get back over here.
A bacon,
Yeah,
Papa, there's
right?
bacon right there! And Druge can hear this in like, his head, just Marrow being like, Papa!
I probably even look over and I'm like, may I? And gesture
And
a
I'll
treat
just like
towards.
sigh and wave, and Marrow will blink to your side.
He'll just be like, hello!
Okay, so I'm just
Tight as
like
heel,
giving
like
the
knocks into
dog.
your ankle.
He's like this. He's like this. Like his
Just
butt is
vibrating.
just like,
Yeah.
oh, there's food!
Yeah.
I'm just giving them treats and keeping them occupied away from everything else. I'm
He keeps-
probably
he
also
keeps
just
do-
trying to.
Mirror keeps doing stuff like, you want me to do a trick? I'll do a trick. You know.
Yes. Maybe we've
I-
even got like a small crowd of people coming around.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Because-
perfect. Across the room, Quentin's like, I've been trying. You little shit! I asked you to.
He's
Just-
completely ignoring you. This woman has food, and like that's all she's. Yeah.
No, but imagine he's whipping out all the things I've been working with him to
Oh.
try and get him to do for the past 2 weeks.
Definitely.
And he's like, I don't know what you mean, and now he's doing them all
Mhm.
for her.
Oh,
I'm not
absolutely.
even asking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just happening.
Yep.
And I'm probably just kind of nervously looking around to see where everybody is,
Mhm.
and like eager to gain a little bit of clout at the party. So if we need to have some leverage, we can have some leverage based on the impromptu doggy show. But like, my
Mhm.
mission is to make sure I know where everybody is, and the dogs are just kind of pulling my attention because they're dogs and they want all the
Why
things. So,
wouldn't
like,
they?
you
Um,
can't have all the things.
You actually pull in a guy from the, hang on a second. You pull in. Where the shit is everybody? Oh my god. Here we go.
It's okay. Take your time.
You pull in a couple of people from the balcony. You get one guy in a dark blue suit, but his skin is painted blue, and he's like got tears, and he keeps like loudly explaining to people that he is sadness. And
He
like
is sadness.
he's dressed as sadness. Sadness.
Oh.
And then you also get the cheerfulest, adorablest, like bubbliest woman dressed as a witch. but like a traditional
Okay.
witch with like the nose and the wart and stuff, and it keeps falling off, and she keeps like putting it back on in different places, and being like, "Hello, I'm a witch," like
They can't keep it straight. That's amazing.
That's adorable.
Yes.
Perfect. I tried to play it cool and act like this was on purpose.
Yeah, you're doing a great job. Okay, I'm gonna swing back to. Let me swing back to the dancers real quick, because y'all have split the party.
You had to expect this with 8 people.
To be honest, I wasn't sure how this was gonna go, which is why I set it up this way. Okay, so
Technically, we're all in the same room.
yeah. So Freya and Aaliyah, you make it to the end of the line, and there's a gentleman there dressed as a grandfather clock. He has like the pendulum, and it's super suggestive, and he's really embarrassed by it. Like he keeps like stopping it and being like, "Please, pleased to meet you." But he has the most glorious mustache. It's amazing, and it's clearly been enchanted as the hands of the clock because it's matching the clock time. So he's also sort of like looking around like a mustache that's like right here because it's like getting late. It's like not
It's
like
like in his
almost
eye.
10 o'clock, and he's like clutching this pendulum and is like, hello. But his mustache is absolutely amazing. And he says, I couldn't help but see your beautiful dancing, and I don't think we've met. And my name is Lord Horace, and it is quite lovely to meet you both. Would you mind gracing me with your names?
A panicked look crosses my face, and I look at Freya, and I'm like, I don't know what to say. Like, but it doesn't. Those words don't come out my mouth, but my facial expression is like,
As this is happening, Freya is not totally aware that this is happening because she doesn't know Leah very well, and she just introduces both of them, just like blurts out, "I'm Freya, and this is Aaliyah."
And he says, oh, it's wonderful to meet you both. I wonder, and he gestures kind of at his costume, which is almost like he walked into a grandfather clock. Like, it's made of wood, and his arms are like sticking out of it, and he's kind of like holding a drink like this, like he's in a clock. And he's like, I've lost a ring, and you're so great. I was wondering if you'd help me find it.
ooh, a little side quest.
It's shaped.
a ring?
It's shaped like a spoon, like the handle of a spoon, and it was my invitation to the party. And if I don't have it, the mistress, would you mind finding it for me?
I mean, I don't know how our dancing skills would translate, but sure. Where'd you last see it?
And he says, "Oh, the last time I saw it was
Is anybody dressed like a teapot at this party?
absolutely, obviously, and there's a teacup as
Okay,
well. I don't want to
Just
talk about it.
checking. Just checking.
But yeah, this
Excellent.
was very clear where I came up with this adventure, and I don't want to talk about it. Actually, that spawned 2 different adventures, which are currently running at the same time, and I don't care. He says, I think the last time I saw it was on the balcony. Someone's been saying that it's a fork, and they're a daft pineapple, but it's really a spoon, and it was on the balcony. And it's not mine, and I really do need it back. Would you mind terribly?
Someone's been saying it's a fork?
Yes, I don't understand why, but it's a spoon. I swear it's a spoon.
Well, sure, we can absolutely look for it. Which balcony?
And he points to the back of the room. There's a huge balcony that opens off the back.
Freya says, "We will be right back," and just grabs Aaliyah's hand and gently just yanks her towards the back balcony.
Okay. Now I know. Just really quickly, I'm gonna break the game just for a second. I'm gonna say, I know that we're running a big group. If anybody needs to run to the restroom, just run off and do that. I'll catch you up whenever you come back. I forgot to mention that at the beginning of the show. I'm very, very sorry. So if you need to run away for a second, go do that. Just maybe type something in chat, and so I know that you haven't, decided to hate me forever. and refuse to talk to me ever again because I didn't schedule a break.
Impossible.
And I'd like to also take this moment to remind chat that I'm giving away this spoon. It says Like 7 Spoon on the back and it has my logo on the front. And I'm not saying it's magical, but it's a perfect ice cream spoon. So you can type "It's my birthday" into the chat and with an exclamation point in front of it, and you'll be entered to win. And I will be announcing that at the end of the game. Okay, so what do oh, I'm having trouble with names. What do Aaliyah and Freya do at this point? Oh, your name's end in
We're
O's.
dance running to the balcony.
Obviously, like that's how you were recruited, so it
Flash
must be. Yeah.
No. This isn't Flashdance or West Side Story. This is Bridgerton. This is
Oh, I see. Yes.
Beauty and the Beast dance.
Staying
So
coordinated, but weaving in
it's
and out of the crowd to get
yeah,
where you need to go.
absolutely. And you know, it's seamless. Nobody notices that we aren't actually part of the main dance anymore, and we hit the balcony
Great.
with perhaps a little giggle because we've never done anything like this before.
I think, yeah.
Yes, that seems right.
Yeah, that's quite the departure, I think, from Aaliyah's life up to this
Oh,
point.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I think Freya's the
I've
perfect
yeah.
partner for this. Like, Freya's just gonna encourage the shit out of this, am I right?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so y'all make it to the balcony. Can I get any perception checks from either of you? Something like that. I've got perception.
I was really hoping it would be acrobatics, but okay.
Could you use that to weave your way through the crowd and not step on anybody?
And just land perfectly on top of the ring spoon.
I'll take that. Yeah.
Fork.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me that. And Freya, I could see your way towards either a survival or a history. Like you're trying to survive this party and the ring was lost a while ago, and that's technically history.
I'm gonna do survival, and it
Great.
is a 22.
Great. And what do we got from Aaliyah?
13 plus 7, so I think we're calling those a flirty 20 today.
Oh my god, that's... I don't know how to flirt in real life. I have no idea how I got a husband. Maybe because neither of us are good at flirting, but sorry, I didn't mean that. You're adorable and I love you.
Looks directly into the camera.
I can give you several examples of when I flirted with you and made you blush in the middle of public.
There you go. He's great. I'm
Oh, I
terrible.
know. I watched this happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I bet you did.
Okay. So he's great. I'm terrible. Moving on. So you do land on a spot that is perfectly on the balcony, and you just dodge around. You land there perfectly, just dodging around a gentleman dressed all in blue with his face painted blue and little dots of sadness. And he's holding a ring as he explains to somebody that he is dressed as Sadness. That is his costume this evening, is Sadness.
Be having to explain it over and over.
Over and over and over again. He's very irritated by it. And by the end of the evening, he's probably going to sound more like irritation, but really he's Sadness! But he's holding a ring. More importantly.
I kind of indicate with my eyes, again, I don't know what to do, so I look at Freya and I'm like, do you see that? With my eyes and a head nod.
Like a head shove.
Yeah, not very subtle, honestly.
Freya follows the not very subtle head nod, which thank goodness is not very subtle because otherwise she may not have noticed. And in real life, my dog just almost choked on a treat, and so I lost the last 2 minutes. She's fine. She's totally fine.
Okay.
I lost
The most important thing is
There's
Badger,
someone
okay?
from the Blue Man crew
No.
standing on the balcony dressed as Sadness.
Got it.
It's a great
He's
show.
holding the ring that Lord Horace was
Ooh.
potentially. It's a ring.
Is he looking at it?
No,
Is
he's
he,
like
paying attention.
he's holding it thumb and forefinger on top of a ring. You know, as
Okay.
you know, he had just held it up to look through it, and then he's sort of
Got
holding
it.
it to the side, and he's explaining to somebody again that he's dressed as Sadness. and is not from the Blue Man Group,
So-
and I don't know what that is. I'm dressed as Sadness.
Freya is going to walk up to him and say, "Oh, you found Lord Horace's spoon. We were sent to go look for that. I am happy to take it and give it back to him immediately."
He literally goes like this and holds the spoon as far above your head as he can, and he says, "Wait a minute."
And I have to look at my notes.
How close am I to this interaction?
How tall is he?
They're
Yeah, this is the wrong group to try and play keep away with. George is 8 feet tall and he's got a 4-foot trunk. Like,
I'll
come
just
on.
kick his knees out. It's fun.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Remember when I said I wasn't anticipating combat? But like,
Oh boy.
So-
No one
Here we go.
Battle, you're probably,
Because he came over to watch me do the dog show.
yeah, I think that's where they catch up. I think, Aaliyah and Freya, you catch up with this guy at the dog show. Like, he showed up to watch, so you're all right there. And he says, I'm gonna say I think he's a furbolg.
Oh, furbolgs,
So-
furbolgs everywhere.
Because he's blue, so he's pretty tall. And he says, oh, I rewrote this. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Who has the friggin'...
Who put the cookie in the cookie jar?
Who, me?
Couldn't be.
Then who?
Ah, I lied. So boring man with the sadness does not have the ring. You saw the witch, the very cheerful, bubbly witch. That's who you saw on the balcony approaching Battle. So that's who you're interacting with, is the super giggly purple witch. And when you say that's Lord Horace's ring, she says, "Really? That is so exciting. I have a favor to ask. Would you? I have a favor. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I'm trying to stay in character, but I'm not very good at it. I'm so sorry. I have a favor to ask."
Freya
So,
looks slightly overwhelmed by how bubbly she is. And
which is impressive.
Oh, okay. Is the favor to return the spoon to Lord Horace?
And she says, "Yes, but he has a purple flower that I really need. And if you could get that for me with the spoon, I can't talk to Lord Horace myself. Would you mind doing that for me?"
Sure. So I'll take the spoon and then I'll go get the flower and then bring it back to you.
And she says, "That would be wonderful." And
Great. I
hands
can
it
do
over.
that. And Freya reaches her hand out for the spoon.
She hands it right over. Oh, sorry, Aaliyah.
Okay. I just feel like I just want to do like an insight check, and
Go for it.
I don't want this flower to be poisonous or
Yeah.
all the things.
Mhm.
So
Roll me
okay.
an insight check.
I am really struggling with D&D Beyond on my phone.
It's okay, I can help. It's a +6.
Thank you. Okay. Oh, 19 plus 6. This is working out
Okay.
really well for me today.
Sally.
Oh, I said it out loud.
You did.
It's all over.
Sally, every time the wart falls off her face and she sticks it back on, every time it falls off, she says "bother," and probably the cutest accent that I can't do, but probably Virginia could do. She keeps trying to do a proper evil hag cackle, but she fails and sounds like an ordinary young woman who's laughing adorably. She gets really nervous. She's really nervous about the flower. She's really nervous about all this, but it doesn't seem to be because the flower is dangerous at all. It's more that she shouldn't be asking for a flower like this, which is why she doesn't want to talk to Lord Horace and she wants you to do it for her.
So I think, like, I'm gonna awkwardly try to have like a friendly tone to my voice,
Mm-hmm.
like girl to girl, but
Mhm.
fail miserably.
Sure.
What's so special about this flower?
She says that her GM needs to look at their notes. She says,
And she turns bright red, and she says, I'm actually a witch. And she says, shh. And she like looks around nervously, and she says, and I've been looking for this ingredient for this potion I'm making for a very long time. And she looks around and she says, it's for mind reading, and it's going to be amazing. And you'll just need a drop, and it's super concentrated, and I'll be able to raise enough money to help my family, and it's a special recipe, and it's going to be amazing, but I need this purple flower.
And do I believe her?
Yeah. Through her whole thing. I'm sorry, Tara. I know so my service dog is alerting to me right now. I'm okay. Yeah, good girl. Yeah, I know I sounded upset. Yeah, good girl. She sounds completely sincere. She really does want to help her family. She's sort of like embarrassed and proud about this recipe because it is going to be awesome. And the fact that she can sell like a drop at a time and it'll allow mind reading is almost unheard of.
And is this a flower he's wearing in his buttonhole, or is there any chance?
Yeah, it's in his buttonhole.
Does he happen to have two in his buttonhole, and we could maybe keep one?
He's got a cluster of them.
So I'm gonna look at Freya and go, like, really bad sign language, like really obvious. There's nothing subtle, but I think
Like-
I'm being subtle, and I'm like, get two, and I hold up like two fingers. We can keep one.
Freya is on board with this. But Freya is thinking that she doesn't necessarily like. Is this? He said. So, Lord Horace said that people were saying this is a fork. Does it look like a tuning fork?
No. Has anybody ever seen a ring made out of the handle of a spoon? Because I have like
Yes.
15 of them. I just don't know where they are. It looks exactly like that. It does not
Why
look
do
like a
people keep
tuning fork at
telling him
all.
It's a fork.
Well, the people who keep saying it's a fork were described as deft pineapples, so who's to say? I had a really hard time coming up with insults for this, by the way.
Freya
Clearly.
was really hoping that this was the tuning fork.
It is not. Do
so
you say anything about a tuning fork out loud while you're standing there? Are you like, this is not a tuning fork?
Yes.
Sally goes, oh, are you looking for a tuning fork? I know where that is.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
And
Where's the tuning fork?
And she tries to look cunning, and she says, I will trade you that information for the flower. And then she like, her face falls, and she's like, I'm so sorry, I'm not very good at this, but I really need that flower. And I promise I'll tell you, I promise. And if he doesn't give it to you, I'll tell you anyway, but could you just try for me, please?
Yeah, I'll try.
Okay, thank
I'm
you
gonna
so much.
I'm gonna turn to Freya and say, may I have this dance?
Freya's going to say yes, of course. Is
And
that
we
how
are
we're
gonna-
going back in?
Dance over. Yes, that is how we're
This
gonna
is
get
amazing.
back in.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep, of course that's happening. So I'm
You had to expect this.
No, I love it. Like I was trying to imagine how this would go, and I had a bunch of different thoughts, and I was like, none of these are actually going to happen, and something more amazing will happen, and I'm excited that's happening. Okay, so I'm going to pause on you, and we're going to go back to Winnie, Brandel, and Druge, and maybe Quentin if he followed, just for a second. I assume Yume's going to
Did he
trail
follow?
over there.
I think I've got a
Yeah,
call
kind of.
between that and the dog show.
Okay, so Quentin's hovering. Yume, did you tag along to the Sir Egbert thing?
Who else is there? Sorry.
Oh, that's where they're at.
Druge made it there
Brandel.
first, but Druge made it there first, but Winnie and Brandel are just right on his butt.
Okay, yes, I'll follow.
So, in order of operations, who's arriving? Is it like you
It's
made
Druge,
Okay.
then Winnie and Brandel, and then Yume pulling up behind.
So Winnie pulled Brandel with her?
Yes,
Is that what happened?
as awkwardly as possible.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
not subtle. It's great.
So to be clear, we've got the furbolgs hanging out. We've got the Eldred and the other elf hanging out with their dog party and going full 101 Dalmatians.
Yes.
And
Actually, you've ended up with other dogs that were at the party. Like there's now like, I'm gonna say there's 7 of them total at this point.
good. And then we're going full ballroom dancing in the other corner of the room. Perfect.
Yep.
Everything I want. All right. If Druj is arriving first, he's gonna try it, and as unintimidatingly as possible, which is difficult for
Yeah,
someone
you might
of
have to
his
roll for that.
size
Yeah.
and space, and kind of lean over and just, well, you have a good look going on, but there are a bunch of people maybe larger than me interested in those jellyfish of yours. It's probably in your best interest to just hand them over and keep your whole vibe going.
You interrupted him trying to comfort someone. He's dressed as a rabbit, and his nose just moves it just looks so real, and his waistcoat has embroidered and jeweled carrots on it. And the woman he's talking to is dressed she's an orc, and she's dressed as a lilac. She has the most beautiful gown on. It has the most beautiful beadwork. And her face is even painted with these beautiful swirls that are reminiscent of purple lilacs, but her hair is brown, and she is very upset about it. She appears to be complaining about her hair at this moment. And he sort of looks up at you, and he looks at his friend, and he looks up at you, and he looks at his friend, and he's like,
And Druj will point with the trunk over towards the rapidly approaching Winnie and Brandel.
He looks absolutely terrified, and he's like, "What? I do," and he pulls one out of nowhere, and it's an orb about. Now, every time I try to size something, all I can think of is either a bread box or the back end of a bulldog.
Basketball, softball, softball.
I think this is like the size of a corgi butt. A baby corgi butt.
Also the size of softball.
Softball.
So it's a globe, it's perfectly clear, and it has 7 different jellyfish that are different shades of purple floating around in it, and they're tiny.
Did Druj get the impression that Yume heard all of the bits about jellyfish?
Yes?
Great. Druj will very delicately pick up the globe with the trunk, and thank you. Hold the globe over the...
He's like, "No! That's mine! You have to give me something for it!"
I think Druj is busy holding the globe over his shoulder towards Yumi and Brandel, or towards Woody and Brandel, and then holding it behind him to hand it over to Yume, since Yume seems to have a handle on this as compared to the stampeding furbolgs.
Aw.
Oh.
Winnie already has a handout ready to grab, by the way, like basketball players.
I want to play this as if Yume hasn't quite heard the conversation yet, because she has
Yeah.
a very good insight. So it's just like, oh, Drew is doing something. I should help out.
Right?
Because she'd probably be more likely to take the guy's side in this case. Like,
Oh,
no,
for
you
sure.
don't bully him. Don't steal from him. Give him what
Right.
he needs.
It's not bullying, he's making him aware of a situation.
Efficient facilitation.
Hi, Percy.
I think I want to add to the chaos. I'll
Yes.
grab the orb from Druj,
Mhm.
and then also I'd like to try to grab Brandel by the sleeve and pull him away from Winnie,
Okay.
if he'll go along with it.
Brando, you're gonna resist this at all?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So you just get like yank.
I'm really imagining this like that thing like in like movies where like somebody hands somebody something and they like swap it for something else and like it ends up back with somebody who's like, "Why do I have this?"
Yeah, sort of.
Okay.
It's that whole like now you see me thing where
Yeah.
everyone's just like passing stuff around. between
Yeah,
each other.
yeah. Okay. So Yume has the orb. She also has Brandel. Winnie, do you notice Brandel being taken off your arm, or are you very focused on the orb that Yume's got?
Well, I noticed that Yume is taking both the orb and with Brandel,
Oh.
and
Yeah, go in the same direction.
Everything Winnie wants in the world is being
I'm
told
really
away.
confused because I had a plan, and now something different is happening, and I'm just gonna be like, Yume, what are you doing?
I just put up like 1 second, and I put up a finger, like,
Not now.
get back. Hold on a minute.
I'm just
Scooting
gonna throw
over
my hands up like,
towards,
what?
towards the wall, like
What's
just
going
beside
on?
Okay. So Yume, you turn towards the wall with Brandel and this orb.
Just trying to get like, not trying to hide necessarily, but trying to get out of.
Yeah, you're creating that
attention.
space where it's just the
Right.
two of you. Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
hey, Brandel, you did. I'm sure you did your best earlier talking to Madame Fru. This place is kind of weird. I was wondering if you can help draw attention away while I try something. I need to try to contact my friend.
Oh, shit.
Your friend.
Yeah, I have this. Oh, she's actually my patron. I get like magic from. It's a long story. She's a queen bee. She's really cool, but I need
Yeah,
to try
I
to see if I
get
can
it,
talk
yeah.
to her from here.
Yeah.
I've never done that
Brandel
from
gets
another
it,
place before.
doesn't he? Oh God. Oh, cat ruiner.
Do you think you can distract people? I
Oh,
don't know if
right,
it'll be
yeah.
obvious, but I want to sit for a second and try to contact her.
How would Brandel distract the entire room from Yume?
Didn't even realize this was the warlock chat. This is amazing.
Yeah, right?
I really want Brandel to do something like completely out of character. What do you think that would be? I can make some wild suggestions, or you can jump in at any point. Do you want me to make wild suggestions for you?
Sure.
One thing I can think of. What was that?
You could also pull a card.
I could also pull a card.
For
I
the
haven't
record,
done-
I'm also
yeah.
totally fine with this failing and actually being conspicuous.
Well, I'm gonna ask for like a check in a second. I just want to know what it looks like. So one of the things I could do is draw a card. I could absolutely do that. One of the things you could do is sweep Winnie up into one of the dances, because I think that would be
Oh my god.
hysterical. You could also just start firing off Eldritch Blasts left and right if you'd like.
In the back of the head again.
Kill Quentin.
You
yeah.
could get really nervous and turn invisible, and then start thinking along Relic's lines. Right? You're invisible and you can pull pants down. Right? So those are
Everybody has beautiful dresses on. So
those are my 3 suggestions for you. 4 if you count the card pulling. Which would you rather?
Check your DM.
Oh, not me. Okay.
No, I said a word man check his DMs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay.
I can also roll a d4 and decide for you if you'd like.
I think. Yeah, I will dance.
You will dance. So you're going to sweep Winnie up into a dance.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to need checks from both of you.
Oh boy.
Yes.
This is gonna be fun.
Because Winnie is not interested in dancing.
Ugh.
This is going to
Brandel.
require some physical coercion.
Oh God,
Oh
Brandel.
god.
We can
Yes.
try.
I
You
could
could
see your
certainly try.
I could see your way towards a stealth roll because you're gonna try like this
Oh,
is
wow.
coming out of
Like
nowhere.
sleight of hand
I could also
sort
see
of.
a
Now-
sleight of hand check from you.
But Winnie's if this is happening, I'm imagining Winnie had to follow us a little bit,
Or
and so
I,
maybe she's seeing you may kind of like crouch down near the wall, and Brandel turn around like about face
Maybe.
into Winnie.
we're gonna find out with these rolls
Okay.
how that
Oh,
goes.
God.
You could also make it a charisma check.
I could see my way towards a charisma check. Yeah, Brandel, if you'd like to roll a charisma check.
Nudge, nudge.
So what am I rolling for?
You're rolling to see how subtle / grandiose sweeping Winnie up into a dance is gonna be. Basically, we're gonna see how bad this is gonna fail. We're gonna see how ridiculous this looks with some rolls. So I'd like to see
gonna be
either
great.
a charisma roll from you because you're trying to like this is rather charming sweeping somebody up into a dance, or I could see you trying to be sneaky about it and do sleight of hand or stealth. And then Winnie, yeah, sorry, what are you gonna roll?
I mean, I was gonna say, you may kind of ask me to, like, distraction.
Yep.
Are we
So I
making a
don't
scene of
think-
this on
yeah,
purpose?
so I don't think I'm trying
Yes.
to be stealthy.
So we're going with charisma.
Yeah.
All right, give me a
Yeah.
charisma roll. Add your charisma modifier. Now Winnie,
Yeah.
I
it's
could see perception. I could see athletics. I could see dexterity. What are you thinking? Do you want to see what he rolls first?
I want to see what he rolls first.
What are we
I
rolling?
rolled an 18.
That's pretty
Rolled a
good.
14. And I plus 4.
I mean, that's pretty good.
I mean, I want this to be as entertaining as possible, so let's go for dexterity because it's kind of middle of the road.
Love it.
Okay.
Roll me a dex check.
I'm so excited.
Oh no. Oh no.
That was a nat one.
Yes! All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna
go
just
5.
I'm gonna describe what I think happens, and y'all add on or take out as you'd like. What I think happens is Brandel gets a very serious look on his face, and he sweeps up to Winnie, and he like reaches out to take her hand, and he's about to sweep her into a dance, and he chucks her across the room. Just like whoop. And she doesn't go very far, right? Because you're both furbolgs and you're both very strong. But like, you go to like grab her hand and spin her, and she misses, and you end up just sort of like
Isn't ready
throwing.
for it and, like,
Yeah,
stumble trips across the room.
absolutely. Does that sound right? Do you want it to look different? I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's this video online. I think it used to be a Vine of this guy trying to shovel snow, and he keeps slipping. I don't know if you guys have seen this. And he's like
Yeah.
catching himself, and he like slips and catches himself again, and then slips again, and then eventually just gets mad and like throws his shovel. I'll find it and I'll send it to you after this. But I'm imagining like he like throws her, and she like tries to like catch herself, but then like slips on something, and then there's like the ground's wet, and it's just like this awkward like
Yeah.
person falling and trying
First
to
of
catch
all-
themselves.
Yeah.
All of the spit whiskey.
Yeah.
First of all, thank you, Dice Gods.
Yeah,
Thank
right.
you.
Yeah, I was gonna make it neat no matter what, but like, so I think you bump into a bunch of people. I'm gonna say you knock some of the smaller people you run into over. Like, there's a huge like, oh, like
Is she
that.
close enough for Druge to catch her, trunk or otherwise?
I'll allow it.
So after all of this commotion and furbolgs through a china shop, Druge will attempt to catch her with or without trunk, or possibly with arms and trunk. Who knows? Whatever.
I like it. So Winnie, after you're careening around the room a wee bit, you end with Druge. Druge like catches you, sets you back on your feet. No nonsense, I assume.
Nah. We're attempting to get away from the magic as quickly as is humanoidly possible.
Got it. Okay. Winnie, is that okay if Druge catches you, sets you on your feet? Totally no nonsense.
Yeah, I'm just like, what?
I was getting a
What?
Yeah,
And-
no, he does that. You're honestly, you're lucky you're still standing. He's
What's
almost
Randall's reaction to all this?
You're not dead, so that's a good
Yeah.
thing.
Basically, yeah.
When he's just like, men.
Now, Brandel, do you immediately turn invisible when this starts to go wrong?
Yes. Yes.
Great. Which definitely turns a bunch of heads as well. So you totes got your distraction. What are you doing with it?
Just briefly communing with the queen. Trying to focus for a minute, trying to reach out and see, like, are you there? Can you hear me? Can you talk to me?
It's like
I know we don't really have like word communication, but
yeah, it feels
seeing
like
if
it's sort of a bad radio. Like they're trying, but this is not their domain. And it's sort of like the feeling you're getting is like, is this an emergency? Because if not, don't.
if it Could you say that another way, please?
It's the patron's trying to give you the idea of like if you're an emergency, I'm right there for you. If this is not an emergency, I can't step into this location. Like
Okay.
all your magic is going to work and all of that, but like they can't personally intervene unless it is life or death.
Okay. I just expedited it by saying like she's reaching out trying to make sure like, hey, can I still use the power you grant me? Is everything okay? I know we're in a weird place that's not home, so just wanted to make sure that we're safe. But asking if we're safe here, if she can tell me that, and
Yeah.
make sure everything's kind of on the level.
You get like overtones of like don't blow anything up, and like then overtones of like just play the game, and then overtones of like you're gonna be fine, and then that's backed up by because if she does anything, and just wrath. So like mama bearing sort of, if anybody touches any hair on your head, like she's gonna, who cares whose domain it is, she's gonna storm right in there and do stuff.
Okay. And since we're playing our greatest hits here, I think coming out of that little trance, Yume's going to be surprised, a little bit scared at what's happening with her, with Winnie and the two new friends she just made, and Yelp and a bunch of bees are going to appear.
Great.
And she's going to run in the direction of her friends.
With the bees?
Oh god. Bees.
Yep, cloud of bees.
The bee distraction.
So these bees, do they like spread out or do they follow you like a train?
They won't last very long, but I think they spread out from where she is. They're not following Yume.
You cause absolute chaos. The party goes nuts and like spreads out in completely different directions. I'm gonna say this is far enough away from the dog show that's gonna continue through this, and so like heads will whip around, but nobody needs to go anywhere from the dog show, just because we're gonna bounce back to that in a second. Is that okay? Or do you want to disrupt the entire ballroom?
Oh no, I don't want to ruin the whole thing. Just kind of add to the chaos in this localized area.
Yeah,
if that's possible.
You do that. Yep. There's definitely like people are being knocked down, and then there are bees. Like, why? Yeah.
They'll just vanish after like
And
about
then
6 seconds.
and then there's people being like, I saw the bees. You saw the bees. I saw the bees. What? Why is this happening? And they get very upset.
So we've got dogs, bees, and dancing.
Yep.
All happening simultaneously.
Yep.
Good.
And dancing, quote unquote, with the furbolgs.
Well, and actual dancing with Freya and Aelia.
Oh yeah, no, there's actual dancing with the Leah and Freya, and then there's dancing, quote unquote, with the furbolgs. I just wanted to be clear.
Once I make sure that they're okay, I'm gonna slide the orb to Winnie because she was initially going after it, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Druge can kind of re-steady her and gently trunk nudge towards Yume.
Yeah.
Winnie is thoroughly confused at this point.
You
Like,
may.
she just got like thrown across the room, and now
Yeah, she's been getting like.
Yeah, you're like holding this orb. Yeah.
Has Yume or has Winnie ever been like thrown around like that?
not in a very long time.
Mm.
Well, I guess we're taking this orb over to Madame Fro. Fru?
Fru. Okay.
I just think of Frau Blucher from Young Frankenstein.
Yeah, but beautiful ball gown and like 10 feet tall. Okay, so let me bounce back to
Do we hear
Alright.
any whinny, like horse whinnying? Because if we did,
No.
then we know there's no horses.
No. So Sir Egbert is like hullabalooing, by the way. He's like, my orb! And the lady that's standing next to him is doing that thing that, has anybody seen, Miss Congeniality? And at the end,
Oh no.
like she thinks the one that wins, you know, with the blonde hair is just standing there like, "Ah!" and like sobbing. Like that's what the lady that's dressed like a lilac is doing. Just for the record, you've ruined everything over there. They hate you.
Druge was trying to be very non-intimidating about it. For the record.
Yeah, but you stole
Poor
something
Laura.
from him, and he wanted
You better
something
give it to
back,
me or
and it's the
else
whole
steals it and
thing.
walks
You're
away.
the worst.
Look, as far as Druge was concerned, he was pulling it out to offer it, and Druge was just relocating it in like that. It was actively not malicious.
Sure,
but
yeah,
yes,
but it's
that,
terrible.
That is the impression. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm going to bounce back to the Aaliyah Freya battles of the world. So Lord Horus has been completely absorbed in the dog training parade thing and has come up to you and is yes, that's quite interesting. And you saw the conversation battle that Freya and Aaliyah had with Sally because she's right there as well. She's like on the other side of the group. And you see Aaliyah and Freya sort of dance around the edges to get to Lord Horus. And yeah, so you pull his attention away from the dogs. And what are we saying, my dancy friends?
I kind of spin us in and slow us down and make space for Freya to converse.
Great.
Freya decides that the best way forward is probably least complicated, and so she goes up to Lord Horus and like doesn't pull out the spoon, but says, "Hey, we found your spoon, but someone else had found it first," and they set some pretty reasonable terms for recovering this spoon in the middle of a giant party, and they just need a couple of your flowers, the purple one.
Before she can say a couple of your flowers, I'd like to kind of spin around and just take them using stealth.
Oh god.
Roll me a stealth check.
All right, here we go. I did just say out loud that I was rolling well tonight.
Yep.
Okay, I'm on a 10 plus 5, 15.
Oh, I'm gonna need to oppose this roll with my own roll. Hang on.
Do I see this?
What's your passive? 16.
Uh,
Yeah,
for
you super see it.
Okay. Can I try to like make the dogs do something extra cool? And I'm very much willing to roll animal handling to make this happen to help Aaliyah's distraction.
Roll me an animal handling. Yep, I'll accept that. That sounds great.
I'm like flushed with overconfidence from my
23.
I'm gonna
I was
say
gonna help with this, but I'm just gonna stay out of the way.
I'm gonna say you accomplish a dog pyramid. Just I want to see a dog.
Back, maybe even? Like,
Yes.
I bend over.
Absolutely.
And then,
Yes. Totally. So
And
Lord
we see
Horus.
Marrow's like, and snaps to the top.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I'm okay with this. Yeah.
Amazing.
So this is happening.
All of this.
And
This is great.
Lord Horus is like.
This delightful shit show.
Lord Horus is like, to Freya, and it's like, yeah, and I'm gonna say Aaliyah absolutely just snatches an entire bundle of flowers out of his pocket.
And like Freya has the option of saying,
Can you leave one in the buttonhole?
sure.
Okay.
But I'm also watching Freya's cues. So if she's like, show him that you've got them, then great, I'll do that. Or if she's like, shove them in your pocket and run away, I'll also do
shove
that.
in your pocket and run away because he's like distracted enough that I just need to like now hand him back. I'm like, awesome, perfect, and then I hand it like in front of his face, like hold it up, like very much. The thing that he's seeing is, look, I found this thing.
So he's like looking at the dogs, and like the ring comes into his focus, and he's like, "Oh, my ring! Thank you, thank you!" And he turns back to you, and he's like, "Thank you, thank you. You were saying something about terms."
No, we got it. We've got it all straightened out. Don't worry about it. It's great.
Oh, what delightful young ladies! You're wonderful. Look at the puppies.
By the way, when I put them in my pocket, I'm gonna kind of cup my hand around them so that they don't get crushed or anything. And I'm gonna keep my hand in my pocket.
You have
with
7
the
of
flowers.
them, just for the record.
That nobody needs to know that except for me and Freya.
That's true, but.
And I'm gonna separate one of them off while put the rest in my pocket, and I'm ready to give the one.
But before you leave him, he says, Freya, before you leave, I have had a name generated and I must use it. Before you leave, Lord Horace is going to lean over and he says, Lord Horace is just my stage name. My real name is Lord Starwick Periwinkle Puffington III, and if you should ever require a service from me, I am at your disposal.
Freya desperately tries to remember that name, and it's it.
Brit, you and me both. Like, I don't know how I'm going to
But
remember this.
She just kind of nods and says thank you, and then tries to step back as quickly as possible because she hates it when people
She hates it when people, what?
call her young lady.
And he senses your displeasure, and he says, "My sincerest apologies. My," and he goes to say, "My dear," and then he stops and he says, "My friend," and then like waits to be like, "Is that cool? Can we be friends?"
Freya smiles.
And he is he's very conscious of social weird, and he's like, "Okay, I got that one," and then like toddles off because he's wearing a grandfather clock costume. Got it. Okay. So I want to, as we wrap this fun party up, I want to remind chat that I am giving away this spoon. It has my logo on it, and it says like 7 spoon on the back, and you have to enter by saying ! It's my birthday, and then I will do a drawing at right at the end of the stream. Okay. So you've got the purple flowers, and Aaliyah, you said what you were doing with them, and I don't remember. You said you're putting them in your pocket, and then what?
Well, I did. I'm protecting them, but I've also separated one out. So I'm hoping.
Got it.
To keep 6.
Got it.
Secret.
You do that. Yes.
And somehow find the son of the mistress. Just like trip over him.
You just trip over him. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm gonna say you go back to Sally, and she's and you're gonna give her the flower.
Well, I'll pass it to Freya to do.
Okay.
Because I didn't really talk to Sally.
So when you give Sally the flower, she's going to be so incredibly excited, and she's going to say, "Oh my goodness, okay, the lute, and she gets all mixed up. She says the tuning fork is in the bathroom on the 2nd floor, and he's hiding in a lute in the mistress's quarters, and all you have to do is just bing the tuning fork, and he'll appear." And as that's happening, Winnie, you give the orb to Madame Fru, and she says, "Oh, this is wonderful, my dear. Now, the man you need to talk to about a fork is Lord Horace. He's dressed as a grandfather clock right over there." And she points as Freya is talking to Lord Horace.
Amazing.
I am going to thank her, and then immediately turn around and start going toward Lord Horace.
Oh god.
I just want to get this done so we can go home and save everybody.
Okay,
time for this.
And Drush has attached and is going full Team Mom babysitter mode and is right behind her.
Curtsy to Madame Fru and just train after Winnie.
Yep. So, no, I'm not going to write this down. I'm just going to run this for the rest of the game. I'm ignoring this iPad. So, Freya, you know that you have that where the tuning fork is, and you know that he's hiding in a lute on the 3rd floor. Aaliyah, I'm going to say you overheard this, and I want to know what y'all are doing with this information.
Freya is going to like frantically look around because she feels like there's enough information that she should probably pull the rest of the people in. So she's going to frantically look around. Does she see anyone?
I'm pretty sure there's a very large furball dressed in a gorgeous gown, like beelining for you, with Loxodon trailing behind her, and Yume, and
Yeah,
And
we're-
I'm right in front of you.
Battle's
In
right
in the
there.
middle of this
No,
with
we're
the
right
dog
there.
we're
pyramid.
playing with the dog.
Battle's
We're
right there with the
managing the dogs.
dogs, and Quentin's like, "Yeah, do it, Marrow."
Can I?
Freya's going to be like, Aaliyah, go get Battle. And then she's going to wait for everybody else to show up and then just give very whispered, broken instructions about how they need to go upstairs immediately.
Okay, so Winnie.
So when we first came in, there was this like group of young people that went out into the back of the building, and they were doing this like da 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 dance. And so I form a conga, and
Oh
get
no.
get the
Oh.
entire party to join, because that's what I saw these young people doing. I don't know if it's okay or not. And we go upstairs just because that's where the conga's going. It just happens to be where
Just
we're going.
happens to be.
Fair enough. All right. So
When
yeah, you
do we get a sense of where the bathroom might be? We could get.
yeah. She points. She's like
Okay.
you know exactly where this shit is. So okay. So is everybody okay with being pulled into a conga line?
Yes, sure.
I
Great.
mean, yeah, we're going full Avengers Assemble. The
All of-
portals are opening up, like on your left.
You all
Well,
get
speaking of, as we get close, since Battle and I we're kind of close together. I assume we're next to each other in the line.
Mhm.
As we're passing the bathroom, I'm gonna, with my hands on her shoulders because I'm behind her, cast Misty Step and take her with me. Or sorry, Face Step and take her with me, like into the bathroom, so we can find the spoon or the tuning fork.
Got it. Okay.
There's
Any?
just a gap in the line.
I'm gonna
Where's he going?
with Battle, the other dog wrangler.
Yeah, the other dog elf, yes.
So Aaliyah, Aaliyah, the conga line you started has a life of its own. So you do end up on the second floor, but you end up past the bathroom because you can't conga line into a bathroom. And so I'm gonna let, if it's okay, I'm gonna let Quentin and Battle just be like whoop and just flip into. And I think you all see this, so you're like, okay, that part's being taken care of, and the conga line can continue up to the
Barely
third floor.
see it. I have never danced before
And
in my life, and
I
I'm
don't
like,
think I
doing
get better
great.
in the morning either. I think I just do it.
Doing great. Okay, so
Oh god.
Quentin and Battle, it takes you a little bit to find it, but it's actually on the window ledge, but like around, like outside and around the corner, perched on the window ledge. So you grab that bad boy. As you grab it, it hits the edge of the window ledge and it makes a chiming noise, and you hear an answering like thrum from a lute from the third floor. So you can rejoin the conga line, and it's gonna go up there. Does that sound all right?
Mhm.
Where are Brandel and Yume in the middle of this
You're all in the conga line.
magical shit show?
You're all in the conga line, and I'm gonna say on the third floor it starts to break up because we shouldn't be up here, and I think y'all can just sort of like whoop into the mistress's sitting room, basically. Does that sound all right?
And yeah, I mean, as we get that like tug, I remember that someone said there was ice cream, and I'm like, I swear again in Elvish, like, no, I wanted the ice cream.
Yeah.
What kind of
Really
Elvish
loudly.
is this? Like, how many people
It's-
understand Elvish swearing?
So only if you've been in the. This is like military grade swearing.
Yeah. So not
I
this
think
is
Quentin would pick up on it.
Yeah.
maybe. I don't think you would actually,
No?
based
Okay.
on what I know of y'all's backstories. I think you're gonna recognize the cadence, right? But you don't,
Mhm.
and like
Yeah.
she's clearly swearing, but you're not quite sure which thing she's
Mhm.
cursing and or saying you should do
But you
weird.
also hear the word ice cream.
Yeah. So you all end up in the mistress's sitting room. There's a lute hanging on the wall. The tuning fork you picked up is carved with all these really interesting geometric overlapping symbols, and the lute is carved. The bully part of the lute. I should know this. I was given a mandolin by my husband for my birthday, and I should know this crap, but I don't. Yep.
It's the
Bowl,
bowl.
yeah, great. Is also
Yeah,
carved
on a
with these
lute,
symbols,
it's
and you can see the strings quivering a little bit. What do y'all do?
I asked Quentin if I can keep the fork, and he can keep the lute.
I mean, if it's up for grabs, sure. You want to go ring it?
Didn't we just ring it?
You rang it
I think we need to
downstairs.
ring it again.
Oh, yeah. No, like after this. Do you?
Oh, I mean, I'm sure.
Little
Well,
souvenir?
I don't think we should
Um,
be stealing anything from somebody's house, especially this person we can't see who told us that she's not going to let us go home if we don't find her son. Like, we're not
Do these-
stealing anything. We're leaving it here.
We're gonna
Okay.
get paid. It's fine.
Assuming they're talking about that kind of bell ringing.
Did the symbols look like the symbols from the cave?
No,
Okay, then I don't care about the fork anymore.
got it. Okay, so is anybody gonna ping the tuning fork?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
As you do, you hear an answering chord from the lute, and you also hear the most pure note of somebody singing that. And behind you, you realize the sound is coming from behind you. And behind you is this person who's dressed in eye-blinding pink, but very, very good cloth and whatnot, very good suit. And they're holding the same note as the tuning fork, and it's the most glorious noise you ever heard. And he stops and he grins at you, and he says, "You can call me Mac. Thanks for releasing me. I got kind of stuck there. I was trying to hide from my mother." He explains that he says, "My voice is the most amazing voice in the world," and he'll sing like a couple of notes, and it's very clear he has the most amazing voice in the world. And he says, "My mother was extremely jealous, so she turned me into a man," which I don't mind. And it changes nothing. And he sings some more. And he says, "It's such great fun that you found me. It's such great fun that you found me. I don't have anything for you, but I guess my mother will send you home." And then as he says this, the mistress appears. She is...
While he was saying all this, could I be trying to, like, pocket the loot behind my back?
Do you have sleight of hand or stealth of any kind?
I'm not proficient in it, but I have pretty decent numbers in it.
What are we proficient in, my dear?
Deception.
I'll give you deception.
Deception. Okay. Yeah. Well, I have a +3 to deception, but I did roll a nat 20.
Well, yeah, you get that loot in a pocket. You have the worst pockets for anything out of the entire
group. I don't think I could fit it in my pocket. I think I'd have to try and like slip it up my spine.
Yeah.
And like pinch my body
Yeah.
under the vest.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna walk real straight for the rest of the night.
Yeah, you do that. So,
Given that roll, does Wendy not notice any of this?
Yes.
I don't think
The sword's
anybody.
like-
I don't think anybody notices this because you rolled a nat 20.
Yeah, pulled a straight Wonder Woman like sword down the back of my dress, but it's a loot up the back of my vest.
So as he's explaining to you that he wanted to hide for a while, and he does this sometimes, and whatnot, his mother appears. The mistress is about 5 feet tall. She's beautiful. She has pink hair, and she's wearing pink, and it's a beautiful, like, soft pink color, whereas the son is like wearing like a really bright sort of garish color. And her eyes are just sparking. She is absolutely furious. Mac laughs, and it sounds just like a bell. He hits the tuning fork on the back of a chair. And with that note, he hits that same note, but he scales it several octaves up. And you all blip out of this room and back into the places you were in before you disappeared.
Amazing.
No time has passed. You're wearing your regular outfits, and you're all clutching spoons.
I swear really loudly in an Elvish language no one understands.
Yeah, and that's the adventure.
Collapse to my knees with Aaliyah. We didn't get ice cream.
No.
No.
Yeah,
Do
so
I still have the loot?
you still have the loot. Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah. So thanks for playing in my one shot. There were 7 items. There was actually a string that you were supposed to follow. You skipped a bunch of it. I'm totally okay with that. I was talking to a friend about this. I stole an idea from another game, and I was like, "There's no way they're gonna follow this," and they were like, "No," and I was like, "Even if there were like 3 of them," and they were like, "No." And I was like, all right, as long as... I was like, do you think this will stand up? And they were like, you need to do this. And I was like, great. And I did that, and that worked out really well. So thank you for playing in this. I had a really good time. And you do... All of the wooden spoons that I handed out are real. You can keep them.
Yay.
Yeah, so anybody that got a wooden spoon can keep that. And yeah, this is where we're ending the stream. Were there any good role-playing moments tonight that anybody liked? Because I'm willing to hand out...
So many, and I didn't write any of them down.
I'm willing to hand out
I wrote
additional...
them down.
Lay them on me, because I think we should do a vote for this. And while we're doing that, we're going to do a draw for the spoon. Luth, can you do that?
Yeah.
Let me get my RP point, because I really think it would be fun to hand out an RP point for this in somebody's campaign. So
It was also good.
All right, what do we got? I do accept these from chat as well. If anybody has something, anybody in chat has a moment they'd like to add, let me know. All right, what are we looking at? What's a good role-playing moment for us this evening?
Yes.
Yeah, basically.
That'll be Aaliyah and Freya dancing.
That was a good
Oh
one.
yeah, that one's pretty good. Yeah.
It led to so much, but that one decision just it made so much.
Yeah, it was a really good turning point. No pun intended. As it was happening, I was like, yeah, this will work. I can do that. Yep, let's keep going. It was perfect. I loved it. It was beautiful.
All of
that
Brandel
was
and
so
Winnie.
great.
Just
Yeah,
all of it.
that's what I was gonna say.
All of
Like,
that.
Brandel trying to be a suave vlog and failing miserably.
Suave, bog, and failing miserably. Got it. Yeah, I did enjoy the Nat one there. And I just thought it was so
Yeah, that was
good.
great.
And Winnie leaning into the like slippery shovel man. Yeah. That's all under Brandel and Winnie, yeah.
Yeah, that was good. Other good moments.
I think everything you May did, but especially like just give me a minute, and then can I have a distraction while I speak to my deity?
Yep.
Like that whole thing
So
was
good.
amazing.
That and
Love
Yume's
that.
like social herding. Like,
Yeah.
no,
Which
you
is
go
so
over here and
good.
talk, and no,
Dude.
you guys go over here and also talk, and we're all gonna be friends now.
I feel like Yume was the chaperone at like the most chaotic field trip to the science museum, and just like managed to wrangle well, you want to go look at the dinosaurs, that's fine, but just make sure you're back by lunch, you know.
Yep.
I was gonna say
Okay,
you made
but
booty
that-
push.
Yeah,
like that.
pushing Brandel.
Yes. But I just really love the just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. I thought that was
Just give me
amazing.
one minute.
And also Yume being the smallest and like congregating between all of the tallest people and be like, hey guys.
Freya talking to the plant.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
great.
good.
Oh, right off the bat.
I really
was
loved the puppy pyramid.
Yep.
Mhm.
Shy,
The-
Marrow, and Battle.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Quentin
I think
battle.
Quentin was involved in it.
Yeah.
If only
Look
we
over
had a
here.
horse.
Look over here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
y'all
that's
were the
the-
stars.
Watch us do tricks.
Oh, that and like the Blink Dog, regular dog version of Tag. Like
Yeah.
that whole playing montage is
I-
awesome.
I love that he's been a Blink Dog the entire time, and he's blinked in Treasure Tuesdays, I think, twice.
Yeah,
And
and
nobody's
now
really
he's just like
noticed.
doing it for fun.
Well, and like in this session, he blinked like 7 times.
It was really good.
I also really loved Aaliyah and Yume's interaction with the tongue spoon at the beginning.
Oh,
Yeah, that was great.
Sorry.
Gross.
It's a cool spoon.
I love
You guys don't have to
Druge's
identify.
honest but terrifying diplomacy.
Yeah.
Wait,
Hi,
who?
I'm here to help you.
Oh,
Do it or else.
Druge, right.
He's trying to help you guys.
He really was.
We're angry for
Honest but terrifying.
You are being rescued.
I felt like Drew.
Whether or not you like it.
You're being rescued. Please don't resist.
Please do not resist.
Drew also had some really good moments, I think, in
Yeah.
like catching Winnie and like sniffing the air with his trunk and
Mhm.
Up the glass daintily.
yes.
Oh,
That was
the wine glass.
amazing.
Wow,
was
that's
amazing.
That's how that works.
Actually, I have literally
Please
seen that
send
happen.
details.
So
Yeah, it's a thing. I'm telling you.
I really liked how Freya was like, it's just as well Aaliyah doesn't know how to be subtle with body language. because
There is no subtlety here.
that's the
No,
only way I
no.
pick up her cues.
Are you kidding? Freya and I were trying to keep a mimic. Like,
I also
Yeah.
enjoy that
Yeah.
Druge and Battle were just like, oh, all of these people are doing things? Yeah, we're down with that. Uh-huh.
yeah, like go feel free, have the best time. Yeah, I think that works really well. Well, we have a pile of RP points.
Oh, good grief.
Oh, boy.
I'll let you all.
We don't
vote.
have to vote, do we?
I'll let you all
You
vote.
did this to you.
I'll let you all vote twice because I'd love to hand out RP points.
Oh,
next.
great.
the
Thank
next
you,
campaign. So
votes.
I'm looking for 1 million votes, basically. Yeah, okay,
Right.
we're getting a bunch there. Yeah. How are we doing on that drawing, Luth?
I was just about to hit the thing.
Let's do it. Hit the
Timer's
thing.
gonna go off.
Oh, there's a timer. Okay.
Oh, I set a timer. I just said in chat.
Okay.
It's got like 1 minute.
It has 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
Who's getting the
3,
spoon?
2, 1.
Best ice
Where's
cream
the
spoon.
dang button? There's the timer.
Best ice cream
Now,
spoon. Who's winning it?
I'm looking at the quotes. Give me a
6,
second.
7, 8, 9, 10. Still need 6 more votes. Coyote Lovely won a
Hey!
spoon! Congratulations! I will send this out to you soon. Thank you for being in chat and for voting. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's exciting. Yeah, it is perfect for ice cream. I'm dead serious about that. You should eat ice cream with it.
I'm so excited. I'm gonna buy ice cream specifically for this spoon.
You should. Okay, so I think we have a tie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
I'll vote for this one.
12, 13. I need 3 more votes.
I voted twice.
Yeah, I voted twice too.
As did I.
Likewise.
It's so hard. It's all so fun.
Puppy Pyramid and Freya dancing. Elea and Freya dancing. Got it. Okay, so 3, 4, 5, 6 plus 4 is 10, 11, 12 plus 3 is 15, 16. Okay, so I've got it. So we have a tie between Yume organizing and social hurting and asking for a distraction, which is wonderful. So we'll give Yume an RP point, and Battle making a puppy pyramid with Quentin assisting. So we'll give Battle and Quentin an RP point.
Woo woo!
But we had so many good moments this evening. I had such a good.
So
Thank you
fun.
so much for taking time to
Happy
play with me.
birthday!
Thank you.
Yeah.
I really appreciate
Sure,
that.
have a
I
good
had
time.
such a good week, and I was really looking forward to this, and it made my day. It made my week. I like all of you. I like everybody I couldn't play with too, of course, but I love all of you. You meshed really well, and I don't think I've ever run a one shot like this before. I don't know if I can do it again, but
With
was
8 people.
That
That's
was
fine.
fun.
8 people's rough.
Yeah.
Just be glad
Yeah.
you didn't get into combat because
No.
person
No, no.
combat would have been.
nope.
Yeah.
No. As soon as I was like, let's do a crossover, I was like, no combat. I'm not good at combat. We're not doing that. Like, nope. I will do some RP fun puzzle crap. So yeah, I really appreciate you all playing. I hope you had a good time. At the end of my streams, I usually let anybody who wants to share where they might be, what they might be doing over the next week or so. Does anybody have any projects they'd like to share?
It's not in the next week, but I am starting work on a couple projects that will see the light of day soon-ish. That are, whatever. It's
I'm
fine.
really excited about that though, and you're torturing me with this.
Yeah,
with
no,
this.
there are a couple of things. There's one I'm working on that you're
Oh, so
already
there's
familiar
more than
with.
one. Thank you.
Yeah,
That
and,
makes
and
it
there's another
worse.
I'm working on that you're not familiar with, and I'm not sure which of them I'm allowed to talk about yet.
Great.
But
I'm
more
glad. I'm
details
so
coming soon about all of them, and
so glad to
all
be
of them
friends
are
with you.
full of
Yeah.
happiness and joy, as is everything I work on. And by that I mean it's all going to be terrifying and ruin
Disturbing
people's sleep
terror.
schedules. So it's fine.
Wait, what?
It's just going to ruin people's sleep schedules as much as is possible.
I
If
thought
my
you-
players wake up with nightmares, I've done something fantastic.
I thought you said stream schedules, and I was like, don't complicate my stream schedule. What are you doing to me?
I mean, if disturbing your sleep schedule also disturbs your stream schedule, I can't help that. Whatever happens, happens. But
yeah, that's fair.
yeah, I'm working on a couple projects that I will go into more detail about soonish.
That is very exciting. I'm really happy
For
to hear
some
about that.
relevant context on text typical type of thing, one of my characters stabbed an eyeball to pick it up like an olive. It then sprouted teeth from the pupil, climbed up the rapier, and disappeared into my character's hand.
I've been trying to forget
Nice.
that for weeks. So
Well,
thank you.
Yeah, so
For
he's now
bringing
Soul Calibur and
that
doesn't know
up
what to do
again.
about it.
Oh, you haven't even touched on the things with the eyeballs on their feet.
Okay,
Nope.
so moving on. Does anybody else have any projects they'd like to share?
that are not terrifying.
Sol has a really cool one.
Who does?
Huh? Who?
your YouTube stream.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
So when I'm not doing
This.
more family-friendly things, you can find me over at Queer Women of Esports After Dark, where I am hosting, co-hosting a sexual education, sex-positive, queer embracing video series. So we're talking about sexual orientation next, and then as soon as we get through the basics, we're gonna start talking about kinks and toys and all kinds of more explicit, exciting, and interesting things.
Not safe for work stuff, yeah.
So
It's good that content.
But you just don't get this anywhere else. Like
that
people just
content
don't
needs to be
talk
out
about
there,
this,
you know,
and
like
so,
yeah,
it's
you don't
super
get it,
cool.
yeah, and it's being done in what I think is sort of a tasteful way. Like you're not.
Cool.
I know that sounds weird, but like I really appreciate the way you're approaching the subject, and I think it's really
educational,
good.
not shock.
Yeah,
It's
it's
very
really
good.
easy to get that into the hey, this is the stuff and it's titillating, as opposed
Right.
to hey,
It's
here's
not
the
that,
stuff
yeah.
and
Here are
it's
the facts,
educational.
right? Yes, yeah.
Mhm.
It's
So
just
I'm-
life. It's chill.
Yeah, I'm
Yep.
glad you're
And
doing
we're
that.
actually structuring it because of all of the different content. We're going to structure it into 20-minute segments weekly.
Mhm.
So instead of every other week, we're doing an hour. We're going to make it more YouTube consumer friendly.
I like that, yeah.
And
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to have expert panelists. So like, for example, one topic is pup play, and we'll have somebody who's a leader in that community come in and talk about what it is and like being
perfect.
of non-judgmental nature, but we're not going to display it. We're not going
No,
to show
right.
how
It's
it
about-
works.
Right.
Yeah, it's about demystifying it.
Yeah.
I love it. It's great.
Yeah.
All the things I wish
awesome.
I knew when I was trying to make myself straight.
Right? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I reached a moment where I was like, I
Amazing.
was like, I like girls. I don't know what to do with that, but here we go. Like, so I would have loved this when I was a kid. Okay, cool. Any other cool projects that we've got going on? Anybody would like to share?
Game to Grow has some amazing stuff going on, and they've got some amazing trainings if people are interested in using Dungeons and Dragons to support mental health and therapeutically.
We do,
Um,
and we just got APA accreditation, which means we can offer.
Oh,
Yep.
congratulations. That's super hard to
Amazing.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
Cool.
did that process.
Yeah,
I'm proud of you.
that is super neat. Yeah, I love Game to Grow. I'm glad you brought that up. I never talk about it as intelligently as that. I usually say things like, they use Dungeons and Dragons to teach autistic social skills, and that's about what comes out of my mouth. So you did a much better job.
which is not wrong. Like
Nope,
it's still
it's
accurate.
Not useful though. Like APA accreditation, much more useful information.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other projects? All right, cool. So we should be back with Treasure Tuesday next Wednesday. We should be back with Broken Bane. I think I can't remember if we're gonna be back on Saturday, but we'll be back on a Saturday. We'll be doing the next installment at some point. So.
And Broken Tuesday is back when?
I don't know. Do we want the mistress to kidnap you more? We'll see. So I'll get back to you all about that. Maybe next year. I don't know. I did mean to make this a fundraising stream, and I completely borked on that. So I'll do another one with y'all. Okay. Yep. So that's all I have to say. So I think it's a good time to say goodnight. Everybody say bye, stream.
Bye, stream.
Bye,
Bye, stream.